Happy Hump Day stream. Hope we're all having a good one. Good to see you, Goldston. But I'm still mad at you. Well, didn't even give me a raw during my 1 year anniversary stream. How dare you? How dare you? True friends thrown out the window. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're here today on a Wednesday. Should be a good one because we're doing some Star Rail content. I predict Cyrene will be somewhere from 1 to 65. Actually, the playable characters on the Honkai Star Rail character sorter website is 72. So anywhere from 1 to 72. Or 1 to 71 because Arlen is a part of the game and we all know he's going to be the last character. So but yeah, that's what we're planning to do today. Should be a pretty chill one. We're gonna just sit here, talk about our favorite characters, and compare them against one another, so that we can steal the joy out of our discussion. Because thief comparison is the thief of joy, and that's what we will be doing today. Can't wait to rank Finan last, ahead of Arlen. I'll give you that. He'll be ahead of Arlen. But hope everyone is having a good one. Today was quite busy for me. Work's been kind of just very casually, very secretly fucking me in the ass this week. So not fun, but I do have a short week because I am taking Friday off for the aforementioned Trails Beyond the Horizon launch, and we have Martin Luther King Day here in the US, so I will have Monday off as well. So a nice little 4-day weekend to be able to play through the new Trails game. So tomorrow is my last day of work. Should be pretty easy as well, so I'm excited for that. And obviously a fantastic return to streaming yesterday and today. We've got something really fun. If Finan is last, I unfollow. Well, he's not going to be last because he is going to be ahead of Arlen, so he's going to be second last. So you're not going to have to unfollow. Isn't that fantastic? But yeah, so that's the plan for today. After actually, let's kind of bring it up the way we usually do. Housekeeping items. What housekeeping items do we have? We only have one. The next time you'll see me will probably be next week, unfortunately. Like I said, this weekend I will be busy playing through Trails, and that means no streams this weekend. Which honestly, it wasn't necessarily going to be the case, regardless, because of the fact that until um, until Trails is over, I won't be doing any Zenless streams, and we don't necessarily have any new Star Rail content, so there might have been nothing for me to stream. But there is still, of course, the character trailers and the animated shorts and the Myriad Celestias that we are planning on ranking and reacting to. So we'll do that at some point. It just won't be this weekend. JD, hey, how's it going, my friend? Hope you're doing fantastic, JD. Good to see you. Welcome back. Should be a fun one today where it's the character sort of stream post-Amphoreuus. Or I guess technically post-Penacony because we had 3.8. So I've got my very infamous Respect the Beard coffee mug, except today we're not drinking coffee. Today we're drinking some nice chamomile tea because my throat doesn't feel fantastic today. Cough was a lot worse today compared to yesterday, so please forgive me if I randomly cough into the microphone. Let's take our first sip. But most importantly, we have Goldston with us today, so it should be easy compared to yesterday. So our first Raw of 2026, Goldston. Thank you very much, my friend. But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing today, and that's it. So I'm expecting us to go like an hour or 2 hours, anywhere in that range. I can get really, really deep into these these rankings. I mean, I think the last one we did like went for a really long time, and yeah, I expect to really kind of go deep on this one as well. So honey and ginger will do wonders for that. Yeah, honey and ginger will do wonders for anything, regardless of your sickness. Unfortunately, I do not have honey and ginger. I have chamomile, which is still very good for my throat. So, but yeah, I mean, not much else to talk about. That can't really think of anything else. Thank you, everyone who came out to the 1 year anniversary stream. JD, you were there, so appreciate it, my brother. And Dolson, you weren't there, but you messaged me regardless beforehand, so I am very grateful. And to everyone else, I imagine Suki will be here later today. She usually likes to come in around this time, so we'll see if she's able to make it or not. So what? Should be a lot of fun. All right, let's go ahead and bring it up because, like I said, not much else to talk about. You guys already heard me talk about my feelings and emotions yesterday. Today we actually have something fun. No, don't worry. I'm being self-depreciating here. I know you guys value my thoughts on the stream. Okay, here we are. So if you've never seen this website before, this is the character sorter for Star Rail. You can essentially select your range of characters. You can do kind of playable only. Hold on, I'm gonna adjust webcam a bit. I'm a bit too far to the right. There we go. You can kind of decide on what characters you want to show up. You can include playable characters only. You can include NPCs, etc., etc. And then essentially what it does is that it pits two characters against one another. It'll have a character to the left, a character to the right, and then you decide which character you like more by clicking on them. You can also decide to do a tie, but we're not going to do ties. We're going to keep everything like this. And then at the very end, it ranks your characters based on your selections, and you can kind of see what are your favorite characters from start to bottom, or start to bottom from top to bottom. And it's really really fun. It's something that me and Goldston have done quite a lot. And I figured it'd be a lot of fun to kind of have this be a tradition within the channel. Every time we finish like a major story beat, we're gonna do this. Like we did this after 3.4, and 3.4 was, in my opinion, like the end of a major story beat in Star Rail. And now, obviously, that we're done with 3.8 and going towards 4.x, we're gonna do it again. So should be really cool. Hopefully, you guys feel free to chime in with any comments on the ranking. I'll obviously be talking through the ranking as well as I do it, kind of giving my opinions on certain characters, how they performed within the story, how I feel they will be performing later in the story if they come back in any way. Amphorous, of course, wink, wink, not judge. And obviously, like, there's going to be some characters that we just kind of like pass through because they're not, at the top of the list, and that's perfectly fine. So I can't wait to see Sampo placed as high as I'd place him. Unfortunately, Sampo is one of the characters that I think is going to rank somewhat low, that I think a lot of other people like. I'm not the biggest fan of Sampo. He's pretty cool. He's chill, but I need to see more of him, which I imagine we will see a lot of him and Planner Arcadia, considering he's rumored to get an SP. So, but yeah, before we get started, let me make sure YouTube chat is available to me. There we go. Sorry about that. And we're gonna do playable characters only. So that is all the way through Dahlia. Some people might complain about that. I just think this is the right thing to do. The only real huge misses that we'll be having here by doing playable characters only is I don't think we're gonna get Lygus, and I don't think we're gonna get the Dream Master from Pentacone. Go for Wood, obviously. So we're not gonna get like the major villains that aren't playable characters. I guess technically, if you want to go back even further, we're not gonna get Cocolia, we're not gonna get Fantilia, we're not gonna get Hule. But those characters, I feel like people don't care about too much. But yeah, Lygus is the big one here, unfortunately, that are gonna be that's gonna be missed. So JD, my favorite characters are Cyrene, Hycelins, Castrius, and Aglaya. Whoa, JD, you and I share a love for Cyrene for sure. And the other three are fantastic as well. I will not say that I do not like Hycelins, Castrius, and Aglaya. They're just not going to be like pinnacle characters. Cyrene is a pinnacle character of mine. But yeah, we're going to do playable characters. If I could do upcoming characters, I would. But it seems like they haven't added Yao Guang or Sparksy here, which is unfortunate because I do really like Yao Guang and I like Sparksy as well. She's pretty cool, but they're not here on the sorter yet, so we're not gonna do them. So, anywho, we're gonna disable ties because I want to have a nice ranking here. I have to choose which character I like the best. Here we go. Golston, all Chrysos Air is pretty based, honestly. And starting off strong. Holy shit. We're just going to click and we're going to get through this one. Okay. Yeah, this is an example, I think, of a choice that a lot of people would easily select Sampo. I think Yan Qing or Yan Qing, however you pronounce it, is actually a really strong character within Star Rail. I wouldn't say he's the best, but I think after the stuff with like 2.4 and 2.5, he really shot up my character ranking. I thought he had a fantastic character performance. And generally, I see him as kind of like the second main character of that entire arc alongside Fei Xiao. So, Yang Qing here. Okay, so this is another one. So, Goldson already knows this. JD, anyone else watching the VOD? I'm a huge fan of Yukong. I love Yukong. She is one of my favorite characters in the entire game. And so I'm going to rank her well above some massively popular characters. And that's going to be crazy to a lot of you. Just know that it's not crazy to me. I love Yukong. So, having said that, Yukong over Blade. Before meeting Serene, I played Elysia and love her. I even have her new version with her pre-arm. Yeah, I speaking of new version of Elysia, did you see kind of like the New Year's skin that got leaked online of Elysia? That shit looks fucking awesome. What an amazing skin. But yeah, no, JD, kind of the same thing for me. I've never played Honkai Impact the Third, but I did watch a large majority of it on YouTube and fell in love with so many characters. My initial favorite character in Honkai Impact the Third was Himiko. I've been talking a lot about Himiko recently because Himiko is rumored to get a lot of focus in Plan Arcadia. She was also my first 5-star in Star Rail, so I'm a big fan of Himiko. And the reason I'm a big fan of Himiko is because she was my first favorite character in Honkai Impact the Third. But my second favorite character, and currently my favorite character from Honkai Impact the Third, is Alicia. And so when they announced, when Amphoreuus kind of showed their very first trailer of Amphoreuus, and we got to see Serene at the very end, I was ecstatic. I was over the moon, and to this day, Serene is my fourth favorite character of all time. And every day I think about moving her up to number 3. So pretty crazy stuff. JD, yeah, it's amazing. I am poor though. Hey, JD, perfectly fine, brother. Do not spend money on gacha games if you can help it. My first favorite character is Luna, another version of Teresa. I think I know who Luna is. Obviously, I know who Teresa is. Like, she's one of the major characters within Impact the Third. So, Golson, unlike me, who had never heard of Elysia by Serene, became top 3 anyway. Top 3 or 4 up, but yeah, interchangeable with Sunday, I feel like, for you. Anyway, Argenti or Hua Hua. This one's tough because I do love Hua Hua a lot, like as a character, and like I think her arc and the event that we had was pretty nice. I thought it was nicely written, and she's obviously super cute. And I really like her in general. Argenti is like the complete opposite. Argenti is like, we have no character for Argenti for the most part, but he's just so likable, so funny. He just lights up the room every time. Like when he showed up in 3.8, I was just smiling, just head to toe. But I will always value character writing, so I think for me this is Hua Hua. Ooh, a heavy hitter. JD, Luna is the vampire. Okay, then I don't know Luna, but I know Teresa. Golson, her and Sunday are battling for 3, but she's winning at the moment. Yeah. Then Sunday will probably take over in Plan Arcadia when he disembarks. And then Saturday will probably take over when we go back to Amphoreuus. It's gonna be a constant battle for you. I feel like it's just kind of constantly. It's just gonna go up and down and up and down and up and down. So, Sunday probably has the advantage, I would say, like in the long run, just because he is an Astral Express member. But yeah, I mean, this is a heavy hitter. Aventry and Acheron, just both are Star Rail legends, right? Pentaconi legends. These characters were the anniversary characters. They were extremely hyped up by a lot of people. And ironically, and Golston will tell you this, these are true characters that I initially wasn't the highest on when they got revealed to us for the very first time. I thought Acheron's character design was a bit weird for me, being a Raiden May XP, and Aventurine just didn't hit. But over time, I saw the light. I am very sorry. My apologies, my mistake. I saw the light, and both of these characters are some of my favorites within the entire game now. So, that having said that, Aventurine ranks so high for me. I mean, he is just fantastic. His, I mean, 2.1 was almost an entire character quest for him specifically, and he is written wonderfully. He has an amazing character design, and let's say how it is. The man is attractive. He is handsome as fuck. Aventurine, I would fuck him. I'm putting it out there. I'm straight, but I'd fuck him. It's perfectly fine. I mean, it's Aventurine. JD, who would have thought that we would meet Evernight when Argenti got introduced? I mean, who would have thought Evernight would have even happened? Period. Like, we all thought we all knew we were gonna get a March SP eventually, right? But I didn't think it was gonna be anything like Evernight. I thought it was gonna be like more. Who remembers what was her name? It was something like Emma or something. Who remembers before Star Rail launched the leaked March SP that we got? That was March, but like her like full powered form. Her name started with an E. Do you guys fucking remember that shit? That's what I expected, like her SP to be when it first came out. But Evernight is Eileen. Thank you, JD. Eileen, yes. I still hope we get Eileen. I think Eileen is awesome. Um, maybe that's maybe they bring that back later down the line. So, Suki, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I mean, it's months. Yeah, yeah. So, but Suki, we're doing the character sort of stream. We just started. We haven't gotten that deep, so you haven't missed too much. We're just rambling about our favorite characters. Golson, it's okay, Oven. I loved you immediately. Yes, you did. I will always give you credit for that. And Sunday. Those two I will give you credit for always. Ling Sha and Fei Xiao. I'm sorry. This one is easily Fei Xiao. Ling Sha is pretty cool. Like, I used her for a long time, but um she doesn't get much story presence. And even though she has a pretty cool character design, Fei Xiao is the star of an entire story arc. So she's also just badass as fuck. Ooh, another heavy hitter. This one is pretty easy for me though. Many of you guys know that for the majority of the first part of Amphoreuus, before Cyrene kind of took center stage, my obsession was actually with Mighty. I'm still obsessed with Mighty. I love Mighty so much. He is my fourth favorite character in this game, behind the top three. The top three, I think I've talked about quite often. So yeah, this one goes to Mighty pretty easily. And there she is. There she is. The very first time that she gets brought up here. We're going to be selecting her quite a lot. She is going to rank second, of course, behind Firefly, but it is going to be this is really a completely different stratosphere for Firefly and Cyrene. They are in a tier of their own. No other character, even the third ranked character of my list, Sunday, there's an entire chasm between Sunday and Cyrene. So Golson, Mighty clears. Mighty does clear. JD, there are many things we don't know about the children of Honest Rava, so probably we will get a March full power. Yeah, I imagine that we're going to get another March SP. Same with Don Hung. Same with Hibiko and Welt. I think they're all going to get plenty of SPs throughout the game's life cycle. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know. Dahlia might win. I don't think Dahlia is going to win. Cyrene. I play as Kalis. I'm going to select Kalis here. They're the same character. Don Hong or March. This actually used to be closer for me. They were generally in the same ranking. Because I love both of them, right? They're the sidekicks of Star Rail, right? They are the two main side characters aside from the Trailblazer. So they always used to be close. I think I had March ahead slightly. After Amphoreuus, this is Don Hong pretty easily. I mean, can we talk about how fucking awesome Don Hong's portion of 3.6 was? God damn. I mean, I was like playing through that portion like when Don Fung showed up, and I was just like in my head thinking quietly, this is really fucking good. Don Hung continues to be fantastically written. I thought he was one of the few good parts of the initial Cianjo story. His animated short is amazing. His second animated short that he got is amazing. Just fantastic character, and I think a lot of us would agree that he is one of the best the game has to offer. Certainly the most popular male character in the entire game. Well, at least in China, I think Finan is probably competing with Don Hung at this point as like the most popular male character, but I think Don Hung is definitely more popular in China. I mean, yeah, Don Hung, right? Okay. Okay. Mom and dad showing up here all of a sudden. Uh yeah, this is Himiko for me. I mean, Himiko I think eventually will end up as one of my three favorite characters in the game, beating out Sunday. It's gonna be Firefly, Cyrene, and Himiko at the top for me for a long time. We just need her to get character focus, and as soon as she does, that's gonna be the top three. Himiko, regardless, she's gonna rank very high, and so we're gonna go with her here. Suki, same but different Chu, the last Amphoreuus cycle where we see both twins. That's true. I mean, right now, Kalis and Stell are the same character. Are they going to be the same character in the future? Who knows? A lot of us think they won't be, so. March is just adorable. March is adorable. She's also super fucking funny. Don Hung would win for me, Chu, if Evernight wasn't so cool. That's more than fair, obviously. I know Evernight for you is a big character. She's not as high for you as she once was. I mean, she was your number one for a while, but still, I know she ranks highly for you. I remember Cyrene comparing Evernight to a flower with thorns. Yep. I mean, she is basically the like obsessive protector character. Like her obsession kind of takes things too far to the point where they become dangerous, but she's got a good heart. Madam Herda. So this is Puppet Herda, I think, not D Herda. For me, D Herda is gonna rank a lot higher than Puppet Herda, but I think even then Herda is ahead of Asta, so we're gonna pick Herda here. What the fuck, Zygarde? Nikiv told me to tell you, you know what you are. I mean, hey, Nikiv can come and tell me to my face, Xylene. Come here. Drive over here and tell me to my face. You want to throw hands? I'll throw hands. This is an inside joke, guys. I know these two in real life, and things are happening. So, Suki, just to mention the last patch, if we pick when we will meet again with Firefly, Silverwolf said, "When you meet your past." Yep, that's what I think is going to happen. Is we're going to meet our twin, Stell or Kalis, depending on who you pick, and they're going to basically start the kind of finality focus of the story. And at that point is when we will meet Firefly again. I think it's probably going to be something that comes up in 5.x. I don't think it's going to be 4.x. So yeah, JD, sorry. That came out of nowhere, but I'm gonna roast my friends when I get the chance to roast my friends. We were messaging back and forth in Discord before I went live and just having a little good fun. So, but yeah, this is Puppet Herda, and I think I'm still gonna select Herda. Good to see you. What the fun, Xylene? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Have a great time together. Branya Japar. This is interesting. So this is kind of going back to the Bellabog story arc, which has been long removed, right? It's been a while since we saw these characters, and both of these characters, I think, at the time were characters, and still obviously characters that I really liked. Japard was my second 5-star ever behind Himiko. I got them both from the beginner banner, and he carried my account for some time, and Branya obviously being the main character of the entire arc. I am gonna go with Branya here. I think Branya has had as a character a little bit more staying power. And she obviously got a little bit more focus, but Japard is really cool as well. Goldson, Madam Herda is a peerless gem. She's gonna rank a bit higher than I thought. I think. I mean, Herda was amazing in Amphoreuus. Japard for me because he's hot. I mean, Japard is hot. I ain't gonna deny. He's not my. I think if I were to pick my like star rail husbando, it's Mighty or Aventurine. Two very different spectrums of husbando, but those two for sure. Golson Branya shows up in other arcs. She does. She showed up in Amphoreuus for Christ's sake. So, but yeah, this is gonna be Branya for me. Pela or Serval. This is a really interesting one because for a long time, Serval was actually one of my favorite Star Rail characters, and I still really like her. Because I thought her character quest was amazing during Star Rail launch, and I really wanted her to join the Astral Express. I still want Serval to join the Astral Express. I think she would make a fantastic addition. And her character quest, like I said, was really good with like her revisiting the boss fight with Cocolia. Not the boss fight, but the actual scenery, right? And getting that moment with her, kind of seeing her come to that realization that she wants to stay behind in Belobog. I thought that was well done. That said, Pela to me is a weakness of mine. She is a daughter character. I am a big fan of daughter characters, and she is also voiced by Xantha Hune, one of my favorite voice actors of all time, because Xantha voices Altina Orion from Trails of Cold Steel. So Pela was always going to be one of my favorites, and then we got a little bit more focus with her, with that character quest, with her and Lynx, and she kind of just shot up the ranks for me. So this day it's Pela, but historically it was Serval. But I am going to click Pela here. Suki, Japard is husband material. Same with Mighty. Oh, absolutely. Most of the male characters in this game are husband material. I would say that most of them are just good people who are also absurdly hot. And I will say that loud and proud as a straight man. So, another sip of tea. JD, oh, my Star Rail husbando is Gallagher. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, JD. I think if Gallagher had a full beard, like his character model had like a full beard, I think he'd be a bit more attractive to me. Colson, who didn't show up in Amphoreuus is the real question. Brother, not Star Rail isn't all Amphoreuus. Remember the previous arcs. I'm just messing with you. Even planet Tornilum showed up in Amphoreuus. Is Tornilum the Skrullum planet? Correct me if I'm wrong. No, that's planet Skrullum. What is Tornilum? That name doesn't ring a bell to me at all. You guys are much bigger fans of this game than I am. Okay, let's talk about Natasha. Just like Yukong, Natasha is one of my favorite characters in this entire fucking game. And I'm going to rank her above certain characters. You guys are going to say, like, what the fuck? Really? Yes, I love Natasha. Natasha was, at one point, my favorite character in this game. Number one, during launch. I love her voice actor. Her voice actor, I think, is my second favorite voice actor of all time. Probably fighting for first these days. Elizabeth Maxwell, if you guys didn't know. And I think her character quest was fantastic. I think Natasha is very sneakily one of the best voice acted character performances in this game. And obviously, she's one of the main characters of Belobog. I love Natasha. Natasha is going to rank very highly for me. JD, yeah, sorry, I confused it with the Spanish name. Oh, interesting. Didn't realize that Planet Skrullum had different names depending on the language. I guess that makes sense. So, again, this is kind of difficult. Who do I like here more? Yan Qing, I think, is a better character, but I like Clara more just because she's adorable. One of my favorite light cones in this entire game is the Clara light cone because I think it is so fucking cute. Just the way she's like smiling and being held up by Svarog. I think it's one of my favorite light cone arts in the game. She is very daughter, of course. I think I'm gonna go with Clara here, but at some point, I think I've probably ranked Yan Qing ahead of Clara, but we're gonna go with Clara. Okay. I think this one finally is something we can breathe a little. This is gonna be Qin Xue. I think Qin Xue is really funny at times, and Xu Shang I think doesn't have much to offer the game. Unfortunately, she gets a little bit of focus in the Xianzhou storyline, right? But Qin Xue is really funny. I'm gonna go with her. Zila and Bailu. Zila and Bailu. Actually, this is a bit closer than you might think. I think I am going to go with Zila here, but Bailu is an underrated character. Her character quest, or I guess not her character quest, but the role that she had in Don Hung and Imbibitor Lunay's character quest, I think was really well done. I think Bailu is an underrated character. She's a little bit more mature than a lot of people I think seem to realize. So I definitely want to shout her out here. But yeah, Zila just has a more larger character presence. She's also really likable. One of the very good design. And just generally, just I think she just has more to offer to Star Rail than Bailu. So we're gonna go with Zila. Golson, I would never forget Petticone, especially after 3.8. Petticone is magic and the lightning in a bottle. I don't think they'll reach that level of like excitement within the community again. Suki Tornalum is a mechanical life form selected by the Ian of Scholarship News to be the 76th member of the Circle of Geniuses. He is vehemently opposed to Rupert the First's hatred of organic life forms and actively works to stop his creations. The International Peace Corporation presented Tornalum with a cuckoo clock as a token of appreciation. Huh. And I did not know this. Generally I think I'm pretty well caught up with my Star Rail lore. This is something I did not know whatsoever. Is this new or is this always been in the game? Interesting. Okay, I will have to keep that in mind, especially because he seems to be kind of like well, we don't know what Tornalum is, he, she, or it, or they, whatever. But I would imagine if he is like being presented as Rupert's opposite, that he is also male. So I'm going to refer to him as he going forward. So very interesting. Chincha is just a girl trying to live her life, indeed. And she's just a little bit lazy. And I can identify with that. I can relate to that for sure. I like Zila because I like a butterfly aesthetics. Same reason I like Castris. Hey, that's more than fair. No, that's just Screwlum. Tornalum equals Screwlum Spanish name. Oh, gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. I didn't realize how seemingly opposed to Rupert that Skrillum was. I knew that Skrillum hated like Rupert and everything he stood for, but damn, it sounds like they're destined to be opposites. Which fair enough. We all love Skrillum. Skrillum is Genius 76. I thought he was Genius 72. I guess I was wrong. Like I said, I I think I'm pretty well versed in Star Rail lore, but obviously I'm not as caught up with you guys as much as you guys are. So please correct me if I'm ever wrong. Okay. Silverwolf Jing Yuan. This I think is gonna be a kind of a bit of a shocker to Golson and myself actually. Before for a long time I would have had Jing Yuan ahead of Silverwolf. I think it's Silverwolf today. I think she's just super fun, super likable. I think she is a character that really enables other characters. Like you can put Silverwolf in any scene and she will have good chemistry with the other characters around. And her role in 3.8, even though it was limited, I really enjoyed. And she's gonna get more focus here very soon. So yeah, Silverwolf ahead of Jing Yan. Think I've definitely, think definitely Silverwolf has shut up the rankings for me. This one is just no contest. Yukong moving on. Okay, here we go. This is Blade, but I think this is something we can discuss. I think Blade, similar to Silverwolf, Blade has definitely shot up the rankings for me a bit. I'm not typically a big fan of like the psycho characters in media. I'm not hugely like, especially the aggressive psychos, like the psychos that like are violent and like loud. Not a big fan of those type of characters. And initially I thought that's what Blade was going to be like. But as we got to know him more, obviously they kind of took his character in a different direction. He's more thoughtful than I thought. I think the scene with Firefly and Penacony is one of the best scenes in all of Penacony when they're in the car. And I'd want to see more from him for sure. Another underrated part of Blade's character, I think. Do you guys remember in Kafka's character quest where we're towards the end and Kafka finally finishes using her spirit whisper on Blade. They have a nice conversation. I really liked him in that moment as well. I felt like he was being very thoughtful and considerate of Kafka. Kind of showed me a side of Blade that I didn't expect to see. And obviously we saw it again in Penacony. So But yeah, Blade is gonna be pretty high up, but not the highest. Yeah. I mean, what are we doing here? Kafka for sure. Kafka's gonna be in the top 10. Just saying that right now. Let me I'm gonna mute here really quick because I'm gonna cough for a bit. Don't have a mute button on my microphone anymore, so I do have to do it through OBS. So apologies. So thank you guys for catching me up on Screwlim's name. I'm not gonna read through that because I think point has been made. Yeah, he's so nice, playable when you're talking about his SP, right? Blade is playable. I have Blade, I think. No, yeah, I have Blade. Do I have Blade? He might be the one that I'm missing. I'm missing one of them. No, I think I'm missing Blade still because I have Zila E2 and I have Fushuan E1. I think. Goals and that does shock me, but based carry on. Are you talking about Silver Wolf or Blade? Probably Silver Wolf because that's when I said that's when I thought you said you would be shocked on. Gotcha. Okay, cool. JD Ojin Grand because Alejandro makes an excellent job as his VA. Yeah, I mean Alejandro does an excellent job anywhere. He is one of the best voice actors in the entire industry. But personally, I don't think that Jingwen is that high for me. He's cool. I appreciate whenever he's on screen. Just I think as a character that was a miss for me. Lynx or Fushuan? I think this is gonna be Fushuan. I think she's good. I wouldn't say she's super high. Just Lynx hasn't gotten a lot of character focus, right? She's a 4-star. She got like one character quest with Pela, and I preferred Pela's character performance there. So yeah, this is gonna be Fushuan. Jing Liu or Topaz? I used to. Fun fact for a lot of you who didn't watch the previous character rankings stream, and even before that, I used to actually not be a big fan of Jing Liu at all. Like she used to be ranked pretty low. I think I have her a bit higher now for sure. Just like seeing her role in the story kind of get more expansive. She like her showing up in the trailers with the Lord Ravagers. Those have all been really cool, and obviously she has one of the best character designs in the entire fucking game, and she's voiced fantastically by Amelie or Monarch for those of you who watched her VTuber days. She doesn't go by Monarch anymore when she streams, but Amelie, obviously, fantastic voice actor as well. But that said, Topaz is again pretty highly ranked character for me. This is a pretty easy pick. Hua Hua or Gonaifen? Hua Hua, pretty easily. Argenti or Gonaifen? Again, Argenti, pretty easily. Ranmei or Hanya? Hanya is going to be, unfortunately, one of the lowest ranked characters on my list. She just doesn't get a lot of focus. I mean, she's cool. I have nothing against Hanya. Just she's a very easy character for me to pick against. So, Ranmei. Dr. Ratio or Julie. I love Dr. Ratio. That's something a lot of people don't realize about me because I don't talk about him very often. But he's one of my favorite characters in this game. Dr. Ratio is gonna place pretty highly. I imagine he's gonna actually be one of those characters that might. I think he's behind most of the Chrysos heirs, but not by a lot. So Goldson, he is nice. He drives Firefly. Yep, Blade is dad as fuck. JD, I have Fushuan as a character to lose my 50-50, and she hasn't appeared yet. Hey, same with me, but with Blade. Sage, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well, Sage. Thank you for coming in yesterday, Sage. Appreciate you showing up for a little bit. Hanya lore is really tragic. Oh yeah, the Hanya lore with Zhu Yi is very tragic. It's just it's told in lore, right? We don't get to see it really get a lot of focus on in game. So Hanya is a great option if you don't have Sparkle. Yeah, but I'm not gonna summon for Sparksy, and I have yet to build Archer. I have Archer fully leveled up, and his skills are fully leveled up as well, but I don't have relics for Archer yet, so I have no reason to use any character that functions also off of skill points. Have you seen Dr. Ratio as a Xander clone theory? Sage, I feel at this point I have seen every this character is a Xander clone theory. So many characters that we both know and don't know have now been like, are they a Xander clone? Which is obviously that was going to happen. So Golson, skipping the streamer character as a streamer. Hey, man, we're going to get another streamer character here very soon, and I prefer that one. So, Gwenifin is cool, but like I said, there's not a lot of her character for me to like fall in love with. So, Sage, the only one I like is Skrullum being one. I agree, Sage. In fact, I would go as far to say that if that doesn't happen, I will be slightly upset. I think Skrullum being a Xander clone would be awesome. I would love for that to be a theory that comes true. Suki, last patch, Sparkle Rage Bait. True. She Sparkle, I think, has moved up, I think, for me a little bit. Wasn't a big fan before, but she's just super funny. Every time she's on screen, she does kind of like have something to like push the plot forward, doesn't she? JD, I think Imbiber Lune works for skill points. Yep, he does, but guess what, JD? Don't have Imbiber Lune, so can't use him either. Can't have any more streamers in this stream. True. Sparksy can't take away from my ego, which is not too high, but hey, I'll take it. Anime Joker, true. Well, Star Rail Joker, because we have plenty of anime Jokers. Black Swan Sparkle. Speaking of Sparkle, but this one is gonna be easy. Black Swan is gonna rank super. Black Swan at one point was like in my top 5 characters in all of Star Rail, simply because of how hot she was. Like this was before like a lot of her character development and character depth in Amphoreus. Simply because she was so attractive, I had Black Swan in my top 5. She's not in my top 5 anymore. She's certainly dropped, but she's definitely ahead of Sparkle, I'll tell you that. Aventurine and Misha. Sorry, Misha. Misha's cool, but Aventurine is potentially in my top 10 characters of all time. So, same thing here. Akron ahead of Misha. Misha's cool. Akron is just one of the best characters in the game. Robin Gallagher, JD, your husbando. Unfortunately, I am going to have to rank Gallagher pretty low. And Robin is, again, a character that's going to rank pretty highly. She got a lot of focus at 3.8. Well, not a lot of focus, but she got focus at 3.8 that just made me love her character even more. I mean, she's great. Is she going to place like ahead of like some of the best Chrysos heirs or characters like Himiko and Kafka? No, but she's going to be pretty high. Golston, I'm subbing to Sparksy. Well, brother, I'm sorry. Even if you wanted to sub to me, you can't. We are not Twitch affiliate yet, so. Suki, the fact that Robin is rumored to have SP and Planet Arcadia, I wonder how Sparksy and Robin rage bait. Brother, I would love a fucking Robin SP. Please. Please give me a Robin SP. I will summon in a heartbeat. As long as the design is good. If the design isn't good, then I won't summon. But love Robin. Love Robin. I love water-based characters. That's why I love Lune and High Sleds. Oh, fair enough. I mean, water-based characters are always super fucking dope. I mean, water is one of the coolest elements that you can use. What would if I were to rank like my favorites of the 4 elements, what would I rank them? Fire would be number 1 because fire is always one of the greatest story devices that you can use. Then I think I'd have water number 2, water or air number 2, right? Then Earth is unfortunately last. So, Sage, if this is only a playable character poll, it's a bummer I can't put Lygus anywhere. That's tough, though. Yeah, actually, we talked about that, Sage, at the very beginning. Unfortunately, yeah, we're only doing playable characters here. We're going to be missing Lygus, unfortunately, because Lygus would place pretty high. Nah, Black Swan have a problem with Toxic Yuri. You know, hey, brother, any character that brings Toxic Yuri in front of my eyes in Star Rail is a go for me. That's a go for me, brother. Are you going to bring Toxic Yuri in front of my eyes? You're going to rank highly. It's not a problem if she wants it. True. Yep, I see her on my screen. Don't worry. Okay. Firefly Boot Hill. Firefly is the character in this entire sorter that will never not be picked against. She is my favorite character in the game. I've talked about, yes, even above Cyrene. Firefly is ahead of Cyrene. I think the distance has shortened. I don't think the distance between Firefly and Cyrene in my favorite characters list is that large, but it's Firefly. She is my favorite character in the game. I know that might be surprising to some of you because of the fact that Cyrene has basically defined this channel for over a year. But yeah, Firefly is going to be my number one ranked character in this game. Sage, yeah, definitely Firefly for me. Name reveal, JD. You're talking about Black Swan. I think Black Swan is her real name. I don't know. I don't. Maybe she had like a real name when Black Swan was still human, but I think if they're ever gonna do a Black Swan SP, I don't think they'll give her a real name. Golston, we are aligned with fire, water, air, earth. I think yeah. I think that would be my ranking. Well, if we're doing star rail elements, my rankings are completely different. I was talking about like the general like four major elements, like the Avatar: The Last Airbender elements. That's the one I was thinking about. So physical keeps being a very awesome kit. Yeah, physical keeps getting like some of the most awesome characters in the game. Finan, Yao Guang is physical. Yun Li has one of the coolest character kits in this entire game. Obviously, like she's not a character that's like too high on anyone's list, but JD, Leo is a great name. It can be short for you, Leonardo or Leonidas. Oh, you're talking about my name is David. If you would like to refer to by my real name, feel free to refer to me as David. That is my real name. Nice to meet you. But I would prefer for you to call me Leo because that is my obviously online persona, Ghoulio. You can call me Ghoul or Ghoulio or Leo. Any one of those works. But I have found that historically, based on this past year, the name that I respond to the best is Leo. So feel free to call me anything you'd like, but if you want to call me about what I prefer, go with Leo. Sage, nah, JK, enjoy who you like. Nah, brother, it's perfectly fine. This is a chill stream. Please tell me whatever your thoughts and feelings are. We are just having a good time ranking my favorite characters, and we're talking about your favorite characters. Golson, if only you had a figure of her. Okay, so so some of you, in fact, potentially all of you, were here enough times in my stream where you know that I have this pretty cool Firefly statue. It's a resin figure, unofficial, but it's pretty big. It's a 1/4 scale of Firefly. Um, and they only made 80 in the world of it. It's really cool. I'm not gonna go get it, but I could pan my camera up to, like, I could move my webcam up for you guys to see it. I'm not going to do that anymore for, let's call it, impure reasons. Let's just say that potentially, hypothetically, when I went to Japan, I saw a couple of figures from High School DxD. Hypothetically, like I said, hypothetically. And let's say hypothetically that I really wanted those figures and hypothetically spent about $700 to buy them. And hypothetically, they might have come in about a week and a half ago, and hypothetically, they might be above this shelf here. So if I hypothetically were to move my camera, you might see those figures. And let's just say hypothetically, because they're from High School DxD, they're somewhat NSFW. So we're not going to pan my camera, hypothetically. So let me catch up the chat here really quick because I think I've missed quite a bit. JD, I thought Sage revealed your name. No. Sage calls me by Ghoul or Leo, whichever one he prefers. Sage has been one of my longest running viewers. Thank you very much, Sage. I love you, my friend. Love you, brother. But you can call me whatever you like. You can call me David. You can call me Leo. You can call me Ghoulio. You can call me Ghoul. Like I said, Leo is the name that I respond to the best. So. Suki, I pick Cassie for special reasons. I mean, Castris is going to be ranked very highly on this list. So, Sage, rip my understanding. Also, Dante, he's cool as fuck. Nice to meet you, Sage. Is Dante your real name? If Dante is your real name, thank you for telling me. You don't have to tell me, but nice to meet you, brother. Golson, nice to meet you, David. Can I call you Zygarde? You can call me Zygarde. For those of you guys who don't know, Zygarde is an inside joke between me and my in real life friends, and it's one of my gamer tags. Sometimes I will go by Zygarde in like games and stuff. But don't call me Zygarde. That name I won't respond to. JD, understandable. My name is Juan Diego, but JD is shorter. Well, nice to meet you, Juan Diego, JD. My brother's name is Diego, so um, but I'll keep calling you guys JD. Sage, I'm gonna keep calling you Sage. Golston, whoa, wonder how many they made in this world. Um, Something like 80 figures were made, something like that. Golston, yeah, you'd never do anything in pure Schrodinger's high school DxD figures. Yeah, hypothetically. Sage, nah, Dante is the other Don Hung 5-star. My name is Zachary IRL, as he's also Fizz. Oh, that's true. He is another physical character. Permansor Tarai, for those of you who are wondering. Well, nice to meet you, Zachary. Like I said, I'm going to keep calling you Sage. That's just a name that I feel comfortable with, and probably the name that we should use considering this is all on the internet. So, but nice. Excuse me. Jesus fucking Christ. That's fine, Leo. Yep. Or if you prefer to go by Zachary, please let me know. I will call you whatever you prefer. I'm just saying that I've known you for Sage for so long, so that's just the name that I have in my head. Now we are all acquainted, LMAO. True. This turned into like a real name reveal stream, but I've talked about my real name every once in a while. Shut up, Gold State. That's a good joke. I prefer you call me. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. That was funny. JD, yay, we now know each other better now, lol. Like you, Leo, I don't mind if it's my name or Sage. Gotcha. I'll go with Sage then. Sage is just such a dope name. Like, Sage. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, back to the character ranker. Jade or Yunli. This one's actually kind of interesting. Because Jade, I feel like, as a character, she's more of a static character, right? She doesn't have a lot going on for her, aside from just being extremely attractive and just also really cool. But in lore, she's obviously super important. Yoon Lee is a character that was well written with like character development that like actually like was introduced with a very specific role in mind with the Cienjo story. So obviously like kind of like a battle of two different character archetypes here, like this character that is just really meant to be static, right? And nothing wrong with static characters, right? Nothing wrong with static characters at all. And then a character who is like supposed to change and grow, right? So difficult choice here. I actually don't really know. Jade scares me. Jade scares me as well, but honestly, like she can do whatever she wants to me. I'm just saying. Sage, I'd choose Yoon Lee here. Her quest was good. Her quest was very good. I have only pure thoughts about Jade. Yeah, I think that goes for most of us, right? Her and Yanqing are so cute. I don't think they'd ever push something romantic. No, but I think they have a fantastic dynamic, right? Who do I want to pick here? You know what? I'm going to go with my gut. My gut tells me it's Jade, but I do really like Yunli. Fei Xiao. Zhao Cho is cool. He had a really great moment in the Cienjo story quest for 2.4, 2.5. But Fei Xiao is just Fei Xiao. I actually think I'm going to go with Zhao Cho here. Zhao Cho, like I said, got a really cool character focus, had a really nice moment where obviously he was kind of taken hostage and put through harm and still remained kind of like true to Fei Xiao and loyal to Fei Xiao. He's a badass. Zhao Cho's a badass. And like I said, Ling Shao doesn't get a lot here. So, Rappa and Moza. I ain't gonna lie, this is probably gonna be a battle of lower ranked characters, unfortunately. I am gonna go with Rappa though, because I think Rappa is well written for the most part from an objective perspective. Her character just didn't necessarily click with me. Unfortunately, I wasn't a fan of the kind of like slumber nana thing, like the whole thing with Dr. Primitive and 2.6. Just it was too much for me. But I do think from an objective perspective, like in a writing perspective, she was handled really well. Her backstory is incredibly tragic, and I think if we were to kind of get Rappa again in the future, I think still her character will have a much better character performance than when not kind of burdened by the kind of banana thing that they had in 2.6. Sage, I meant that Jing Yan pushes the romance part, and that's officially canon. A clear setup for later. Uh, whether they go romantic or not with Yan Qing or Yun Lei, their dynamic works just straight up. Like they could keep them friends. They could make it romantic. It doesn't matter. It's just a really well written dynamic. Jacho also went blind for his general real Chad. Yeah, Jacho was a Chad. He was best in slot for Akron, JD. You are correct. Don't know if he's still best in slot for Akron these days. I think Akron's best in slot team, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's Silverwolf and Cypher. I think that's her best in slot team at the moment, but I'm not sure. But he was best in slot for Akron, yes, for a while. Who's Rappa? Rappa is the what was her title? I forget her title that they used in 2.6. It was like long. Rappa has more potential than Motetsu. True. Very true. Well, that was a very clear choice for me, by the way. Mota is going to be potentially my least favorite character in the game alongside Arlen. I think he has very little to offer to the story. That character doesn't exist. Rappa does exist, Golston. Unfortunately, you cannot shy away from 2.6. 2.6 was, I think, both of our least favorite story quests in the game. Either that or the first Xianzhou story. But Rappa was one of the shining examples of 2.6. So she has more story to come. Yeah, she's connected to Primitive, so she's going to show up again sooner or later. JD, you have Rappa. Very cool. Having Rappa is like having an ancient relic, Goldson. Unironically, yeah, like having Rappa probably does kind of give your account like kind of like an almost like antique value in a way. Sage, Naki still is Lamau. That's why they still have the memes of Akron being trapped in his house room or something like that. Really? That's fucking awesome. The Akron subreddit was so fucking funny when it was like going off like that. God, what a time in Star Rail community history, right? Because so no, it's because she never reruns I Like 2.6. You like 2.6? Oh, that's surprising. I thought you didn't. But yeah, she hasn't rerun in a hot minute. No, yeah, Sage, I understand. Don't trust me, Sage. I was around for the Jiao Cho memes when Akron Mains was fucking going crazy. Get another sip of tea here. All right. Here's the very first appearance of my favorite male character in the game and my number 3 ranked character in the entire game. I fucking love Sunday. You guys who watched me from the beginning going forward, you guys know this. I constantly brought up Sunday showing up in Amphoreus from 3.0. I think it was a mistake. I think they should have brought him to Amphoreus. I think he should have been there from the beginning. The fact that he was not there to me was such a tragedy. He has to show up in Planet Arcadia. If he is not one of the like Astral Express characters that disembarks in Planet Arcadia, they have squandered his character, and I will criticize him for that. Fucking hell, please do something with Sunday. He is one of the best characters in the entire game, and they refuse to use him for whatever reason. Hoyoverse, stop being stubborn. You have done essentially everything but make him official, an official Astral Express member. He needs to get more screen time. Sunday. Golson, I don't like the first hour. Akron stop becoming Jujutsu folk was something to say. Yeah, there's this post in the Akron main subreddit of like it's Egyptian, like it's like Egyptian hieroglyphics, like something you'd see in a pyramid. It's so fucking funny. I love Akron mains. They're hilarious. Sage, I love 2.6. I like the twist that she was brainwashed the whole time. No, yeah, that whole part of 2.6 that we got towards the end was really well done. I just don't like the first half. I think the first half is just, I don't like using this word because it's such an awful word, but it's a bit cringy for me. Just a little bit, just a bit too much. Same latter half of 2.6 is great. Yeah, the last third of 2.6 is great, but you can't ignore the first 2/3 of it. Sunday needs a Planar Arcadia arc. Yes, he does. Please, Hoyoverse, don't squander this character. As it's so similar to Penacony from the images so far, I think that'll be a massive wake up call for him. He just needs screen time. I don't he doesn't even need to get a character arc anymore. I don't care. Well, I would love for him to get more character development, obviously, but he just needs to be on screen interacting with characters, with namely the Astral Express, but with other characters as well. That's what we need. And they didn't give it to us in Amphorous. I don't know why. I don't know why, but they didn't give us Sunday in Amphorous, aside from a few scenes here or there, right? He needs to show up in Planar Arcadia. JD, freaking Fugue doesn't want to appear, and I'm at 75 pity. Need her for my super break team. Yeah, hold on. Let me talk about Fugue, because I just selected Sunday without talking. Fugue is going to rank very highly on this list, and I am sorry, Ting Yun. Ting Yun was one of my least favorite characters in this game when this game launched. I didn't understand like why everyone liked her. Then 2.7 came out, and I did a complete 180. Ting Yun / Fugue, one of my favorite characters in this game. She's going to rank highly. She's going to rank pretty high. It's just, unfortunately, she went up against Sunday. So hopefully you get Fugue, JD. I wish you luck, my friend. Just win the 50-50. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. They wouldn't say the stuff about him being Trailblaze if not set him up to join, surely. Yeah, like, I agree. They should have done it sooner. He should have been in Amphorous. It's still the top post there. It's so funny. The Egyptian one and Akron Mains. I'll have to go take a look at it after the stream. It's so fucking funny. Not gonna lie, Leo, I think the first half made me laugh than all of Amphorous combined. Okay, so it hit for you, Sage. That's good. I mean, obviously for some people, the Slumber Nana stuff was gonna hit. Just for me, it didn't quite hit. And I mean, if you laugh more at 2.6 than all of Amphorous, that makes sense. Amphorous was not supposed to be a comedic storyline. We had our moments here and there, right? Like, I think for me, the moment that I think of in Amphorous that made me laugh the hardest was the Mighty finding like bathtub competition thing. That was fucking funny. But it was Amphorous was depressing, and it was meant to be depressing, and that was what it achieved that, obviously. Sage, Ting Yun isn't really her, though. Lamau Fugue is the real Ting Yun, so we don't meet her till 2.7. Yeah, agreed. Right. But obviously, like, we are still referring to Fugue as Ting Yun, so like, I suppose I will say Ting Yun Fantalia clone wasn't my favorite character. She was one of my least favorite characters in 1.0, but Ting Yun is one of my favorite characters for sure. Her design is peak for one, and I just love the way they made her so much more vulnerable. Obviously, being infected or traumatized by the power of destruction, that's going to be easy to write, but still, I really resonated with Ting Yun's character at 2.7. Thanks, Leo. I mean, hey, brother, I got really lucky when Fugue came out, sending that your way. I'm sending my luck your way. Typically, I have horrible luck, so maybe you don't want my luck, but I'm sending what I can towards you. Fucking feel the energy that I send to you. I think Truby being the oldest out of all of these adult models was funny at first, but 2.1 then destroyed me with Truby's storyline. 3.1. But yes, Truby's 3.1. You and I have talked about this before, Sage. 3.1 is one of the most underrated story quests in this entire game. 3.1 is fantastic. Tribby and Mighty are awesome in 3.1, but all the other the Chrysos heirs are also really great. Finan is great. Aglaya is great in 3.1. Castoris is also really great in 3.1. Castoris, I honestly think Castoris is better in 3.0 and 3.1 than she was in 3.2. That might be a hot take, but 3.1 is really good. Amphorous did that to me every update release. Well, yeah, Amphorous was just peak in general, so. It was a romantic tale like none that has come before. Indeed, JD, indeed. Who said that? Not me, certainly. I have to do some stuff. If I'm not back, have a good stream, boy, and send me your list after. We'll do, Goldson. Thanks for coming in, man. If you can make it back, would be awesome. If you can't, have a good night, man. I'll send you the list after, of course, regardless. I really want Fugue and Finan to meet each other as both have as both were major playthings of Lord of Ravagers. Actually, that it is an interesting dynamic. I'd be down for that. They do have common ground. They have common trauma. They have shared trauma. Made a mistake saying it's 2.1 instead of 3.1. Yeah, I get it. It was very obvious. Aglaya the Herda. This is the version of Herda that I've come to really enjoy. I still don't think she's going to rank that highly as a lot of other people have her. Like, a lot of people have the Herda as one of the best characters in this game. And honestly, I can understand that fully. I personally wouldn't, but she is certainly one of the highlight characters of this game that isn't an XP. That said, I love Aglaya. I've loved Aglaya from 3.0. She was fantastic. She's one of the most underrated characters in the game, I feel like. Aglaya is my choice here. She's going to rank pretty highly. Mighty Tribby. Speaking about 3.1, two fantastic character performances in 3.1. That said, like I said before, Mighty is my fourth favorite character in this entire game. Tribby is pretty high. She's not going to be the most highly ranked Chrysos heir, but her story in 3.1 was handled very well. It was very emotional, and obviously all the Chrysos heirs are going to be pretty high. So, but this one's Mighty. Castris and Tribby. Suki, one of your favorites, has showed up. Castris is going to be ahead of Tribby, but not by too much. She is definitely one of the higher ranked Chrysos heirs, but I'm not going to put her in like the top 10, I don't think. She'll probably be closer to top 20 or top 30. But Castris is awesome. I mean, she is just such a dear. One of the best things about Castris that a lot of people haven't talked about is how wonderful she is with other characters. Like, a lot of people obviously focus on how tragic her story is in 3.2 and just, you know, her relationship and dynamic with the Trailblazer. But she has fantastic dynamics with a lot of other characters. Castris and Mighty are great. Castris and Tribby are great. Castris and Aglaya is great. Castris and Finan is great. Like, she interacts well with almost every single Chrysos heir. Castris and Cypher, also great. Like, she's surprisingly, I think, a very good dynamic character, but also a very good static character. And I just think that goes a long way. So Castris here for sure. Hyacinth Anaxa, our pink girls supremacy here. Hyacinth, to me, is one of the best static characters in this entire game. Hyacinth doesn't develop that much as a character, but man, is she so lovable. I mean, she is just kind. She is considerate. She is loving. She is strong and independent. She has a good understanding of her beliefs. She communicates those beliefs well to other people. She acts as a support pillar for many characters in Amphoreus. She is just wonderful in every which way, and she is going to be ranked ahead of Anaxa for me. I'm sorry. I love Hyacinth. Finan in Cypher, the battle of the silver-haired Chrysos heirs. So, Finan is my number 5 ranked character in this entire game. Finan is arguably one of the 2 best written characters in this game. I think Cyrene is the other. A lot of people would disagree with that. I understand that. But a lot of people would not disagree with me saying Finan is one of the best ranked characters in this entire game, and if not the best. Finan, it was the highlight of Amphoreus' first half. His entire character was handled near perfectly. He is written so well. His character design is amazing. His gameplay is amazing. His trailer is arguably the best trailer in the game, again, competing with Cyrene, and his animated short was fucking awesome. And one key thing, Finan is the main focus of the best story quest in this entire game. 3.4 is the best story quest in this entire game. He is the main focus. He is going to be one of, I think Finan ranks highly on every list. So, sorry, Cypher. We'll talk about Cypher later. JD, nothing is more bounding than PTSD. That is very true. Finan and Fugue should have shared therapy sessions. No, they shouldn't. But the idea is there. Thirda came into her own as the story was completed. Her and Scurry, that's some of the best writing dynamics in the game for me now. I agree. 1000% I agree. Honestly, her and Screwlim's dynamic is what has shot her up so high for me, personally. I'd choose Tribby here personally. Hey, that's more than fair. All the Cryos errors are going to be ranked pretty high. I still feel like Cass wasn't dumbed down by Trailblazer. She has a great agency and story arc. Oh, 1000%. Anyone who says I don't think there's a single relationship in this game between the Trailblazer and another female character that's like supposed to be like a waifu bait that I feel the character is dumbed down by. Like the big ones that come to mind are Firefly, obviously. Firefly being the main one. Firefly, Casterus, um, and Cyrene. I think those are like the main three, right? The like kind of like the girlfriend characters that were like shipped a lot with the Trailblazer. None of the three should ever be like brought down by the fact like, oh, they're like waifu. No, they're not waifu bait. They are fantastic characters that stand on their own feet. They just happen to have a great dynamic with the Trailblazer. Some people see it as romantic. I personally don't, but it is what it is. I think they did great with not restricting the female characters to the Trailblazer. Indeed. Leo, be honest. Is it because of that 3.4 scene with Finan? I, you could point to any 3.4 scene with Finan, Sage. like any scene in 3.4 is amazing. Because I understand. I mean, yeah. I mean, Finan is just from an objective perspective. I think most people would say Finan is the best character in the game. I personally think Cyrene is a written slightly better, but like a hair. But it's you could pick either one, and I would completely understand. Can't forget Best Boy Ika. True, Ika definitely adds a lot to Hyacin. I like how the vote comes down to true tricksters actually saving the world. Finding it in Cypher isn't difficult for me, though. Finding it is just top quality is almost perfect. Yeah, well said. Well said. We'll talk about Cypher later. Saradra and Heislands. This used to be Saradra for me. It is Heislands now. I think Saradra to me is one of the best designs in the entire game. I would say probably top 3. I love Saradra's design. It's amazing. But she is such a difficult character to write well, and they did. Don't get me wrong. I think they handled Saradra pretty damn well. But her character is almost impossible to write perfectly, and I think the scope of the character just got away from them just a little bit. Heislands, on the other hand, had a more clear role, and they wrote her very well. I was surprised by how much I ended up loving Heislands. 3.5. If Lygus didn't have such an amazing performance in 3.5 as a character, Heislands would be my favorite character for 3.5. Just Lygus just ended up stealing the spotlight. But yeah, Heislands. Going with Heislands here. Unfortunately, Sarah is probably going to be one of the lower ranked Chrysos heirs, which is fine. She, like I said, they did a great job with her being as difficult of a character. She might be the hardest character in the game to write. Battle of the Pinks. This obviously is really clear here. But we've talked about Cyrene plenty on the channel. You guys don't need to know why I love Cyrene, right? To talk about Evernight slightly, I feel like Evernight is a character that I'm so excited to see more of. Like, I feel like 3.6 was amazing for many reasons, and one of the reasons was I was shocked of how compelling Evernight was as an antagonist, because she was the antagonist for 3.6. I would love to see her in a position where she's not an antagonist. I would love to kind of see her interact with the Astral Express where she isn't an obstacle anymore. That said, it's Cyrene by fucking light years. Easy. Okay. So this is the very first instance where we have Constance. I'm going to say this right now. I did not think Constance was going to be that high for me at first. After 3.8, she's going to rank very highly. I feel like Constance was amazing in 3.8. I loved her character arc. I loved the way she changed throughout 3.8. She was very likable from the beginning, and she was even more likable by the end. She interacted fantastically with Firefly, with Black Swan, obviously, and with just every character I feel like she had screen time with in 3.8. She was just really, really fun. And obviously, elephant in the room, one of the most attractive characters in the entire game. So, I mean, hey, Constance is taking the victory for me here. I'm sorry. Sage, Saradra is still my personal pick, but I read her lore. She sacrifices just as much as Fina does. Oh yeah, Saradra fucking suffered um so much. One of the Crisis eras that probably suffered the most compared to everyone else. It's just for me personally, I feel like they should have given her a bit more screen time. They probably prioritized Lygus a bit too much in 3.5. Saradra needed a bit more screen time, I think. Evernight just doesn't feel good enough yet. She's not completed at all. And which is fine because despite her character not being completed, she was still super fun in 3.6. But yeah, I mean, you're comparing Evernight to Cyrene, just no contest. Dan Hung or the Trailblazer? Dan Hung. Dan Hung is going to do very well in these rankings. He is fantastic. He's just 3.6. In my opinion, he might be the best part of 3.6. No bullshit. Dan Hung is just an amazing character. I think I'm gonna go with Trailblazer over March here. Trailblazer, super funny, great personality. Just really like the Trailblazer, and he or she, depending on Stell or Kalis, whoever you pick, they are a real character. The Trailblazer they are not an avatar. They might maybe they started as an avatar. They are not an avatar. They are their own character. You cannot project yourself onto the Trailblazer. They're obviously the avatar character, but they're not an avatar character. So Stell, same thing. This is hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Himiko, moving on. Welt, we can talk about Welt a bit. Obviously, Welt is going to be over Herta here. Unfortunately, I think Welt is probably going to be the lowest ranked Astral Express member currently. But man, is he awesome. I am so sad that Welt's voice actor isn't going to be with us anymore. Obviously, I understand what went down. The facts haven't been fully revealed yet, but people have been able to unearth different things about what went down with his voice actor. It's unfortunate. It's really sad. You can kind of make up your mind on who was right, who was wrong. It doesn't matter. It's just unfortunate that we are in a situation where his voice actor is going to change. But he is such a dad. He is so likable. Very interesting character, right? We haven't gotten a lot of focus for him yet. His very backstory and his background is insane. He is just from Honkai Impact the Third. This is not an XP. This is just Welt Yang from Honkai Impact the Third. That is sometimes I think about that sometimes and I'm just like, that's insane. Just an entire different world. So yeah, super interesting character, super likable. Would love to get more Welt. Pela Bronya. This is a tough one. Because I feel like Bronya is the better character, but I feel like I like Pela more. And this is my list, so we're going with Pela. Serval Bronya. Now, this is an interesting one. I think I'm going to go very hesitantly with Serval. But again, I don't know, actually. Bronya, again, I feel like is the better character. And do I still like Serval as much as I did back then? This is tough. I kind of want to reference my previous list because I think in my previous list I had Bronya ahead of Serval, but I kind of want to pick Serval here. I'm going to pick Serval. That's what my gut's telling me. Sage, I wholeheartedly agree with Saradra. They knew she was difficult and not as nice as Hyslin, so it's probably why they pushed her the most. They feel real during Amphoreus. Yeah, I think well said, Sage. I mean, just very difficult character to write. If they wanted her to be more well liked, they needed more screen time, and they just had too little screen time to give because they put so much focus on Hyslins and Lygus. So IIRC, they fired him because he tried to get more money out of the company, and then he tried to lie about it, and it fell flat in his face. That's a rumor, not confirmed. Obviously, people have done their research. There's they've even gone as far to like go find court documents. Like it's been crazy. I'm not gonna say what my opinion on on the whole situation is. You guys know I don't like doing that. This stream is not supposed to be a stream that's like a court of law. We're here to have a good time. It's just unfortunate. Go read about the situation, make your own opinion about it. But yeah, just sad situation all around. Bronya, for me, she was so good for Bella Bogzarg. I agree. Like I said, Sage, I think she's the better character compared to Serval and Pela. I just like Pela and Serval more. I'm sorry. Natasha, easily. Sorry, I love Clara. She's daughter as fuck. It's Natasha. Again, Clara, easily. Hook is gonna be one of the lowest ranked characters on this list. Unfortunately, she just is uninteresting to me and not all that likable. So Clara. Yang Ching, easy pick. Sampo, again, easy pick. Sampo isn't going to be too high, but you're comparing him to Hook, so. Zila and Chinche. I think I'm going to go with Zila here. I think historically I might have gone with Chinche previously just because she's really funny, but Zila is the more interesting character. I think she's got much more to provide to the Star Rail story, so Zila. Sage, is it Clarathor or Svarog? Because I probably prefer the latter. Well, yeah, obviously, like Svarog is the one who does the combat in Star Rail, but Clara, that's the character for me. It's Clara in game. It's Clara here. It's Clara. Svarog is cool. He's interesting. He's really interesting actually, but Clara to me is by far the character that I prefer. Interesting that you prefer Svarog though, Sage. All power to you. Um, I I'm actually kind of thinking about picking Bailu here. Um, Interesting. What do I want to do here? Has Chincha really fallen for me that much? She is really funny, but aside from her being funny, what does she like give us, right? Like she's had her moments, right? Like I remember she had a few pretty cool moments with Fu Xuan where she was vulnerable. But I keep thinking about Bailu's like dynamic with Don Hong during that character quest, and that was such a good moment. I think I'm gonna go with Bailu here. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those moments where a lot of you guys are thinking, "Oh, Silverwolf easily, right?" Nope, Yukong easily. I love Yukong, guys. She's one of my favorite characters in this entire game. I will be picking Yukong over some characters. You guys will be like, "What the fuck?" Um, I think Blade here by like a hair. They're gonna be very closely ranked. I think I like Blade slightly more. Silverwolf. Locha is going to be interesting eventually. He's not interesting to me yet. It's going to be Silverwolf. Locha, unfortunately, is going to be ranked pretty low for now. Eventually, I think he's going to rank pretty highly. He just needs the story to focus on him. For now, it's Silverwolf. Jingyuan, just like him more. Kafka is one of the best and most interesting characters in this entire game. She's also, I think, at this point, for me, the most attractive character in the game. Just saying that. Just saying that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, you guys know me. I'm down bad. Okay. Kafka. Luca Fushuan. Luca is one of the better 4-star characters in this game. His character performance during the war dance was awesome. Kind of seeing the history with like his ancestor and the war dance was also really cool. See him kind of like building confidence, losing that confidence, building it back again was awesome. He's super likable, fantastically voice acted. I forget, is it Howard? I think Howard is who voice acts Luca. Yeah, it is Howard. Howard, one of the best voice actors in the industry. Just really well voice acted. Just in fantastic 4-star. He's gonna rank pretty highly. I'm not saying he's gonna rank ahead of like the Crisis Heirs or some of like my favorite 5-stars, but he's gonna do pretty well. Sage, I mean, the story quest does a good job with both. Yeah. I think because Bailu is connected to the quintet, I think I prefer Bailu Chu. Remember when Trailblazer and Bailu pretended that March was dead? That got me. Yeah. Bailu just has, like, I feel like a lot of moments that people forget where she is just really fun. And just also, she's just well written. She is definitely an underrated character for sure. Sage, probably how unique her voice is, Kafka. Yeah, Kafka is one of the best voice acted characters in the entire game for as well. Like talking about Luca's voice acting, Kafka's right there with her. Cheryl Tixeria, is that her name? I forget. Cheryl does a fantastic job with Kafka. Probably the most unique voice in the game, right? Like her and Camden, like her and Aventrine probably have the most unique voices in the entire game. Like if we're gonna talk about like the best of voice acting performance in the game, I still think it's Finan. Like I Annalisa gave gave Josh a run for his money in 3.8. But I think Josh with Finan is probably the best voice acting performance in the game. But it's not that unique, right? I think uniqueness you give it to like Kafka or Aventurine. I'm gonna go with Topaz here. I think you could honestly argue that Huahua is a better written character than Topaz is to me, and I would understand. Topaz, number one, she's hot, and number two, I think she's really interesting. I think her character quest with Bellabog showed a lot of character within her that doesn't get talked about a lot. She's obviously a grayer character. I mean, all the IPC Stonehearts are pretty gray characters, right? But I really like Topaz. I think she's super interesting. I hope she gets more attention later. Um, this one's weird. Again, I think I'm gonna go with Huahua here. Jing Liu she has shot up for me a lot, but I still think Huahua's the better character. Period. Point blank. She's not as interesting as Jing Liu is in the overall story, obviously, and Jing Liu has a far better design. But I just think Huahua is adorable, and I just think her character is well written. So I do think this is where I'm gonna start ranking Jing Liu ahead, though. I do think I prefer Jing Liu over Argentino, which is crazy. I never would have thought that before, but Jing Liu is climbing slowly but surely. Luca versus Boot Hill was top tier. Absolutely, one of the best moments of the entire event was Luca versus Boot Hill. Because yeah, that's what gave Luca his big moment of vulnerability. We also got Heisland's VA. That's also pretty good against Kafka's English VA. Heisland's VA is also very unique. Yeah, one of another unique one will be Aglaya. Like the ones with the accents, right? Those are definitely some more unique characters. But I think Kafka's voice is just so particular. Like, can you guys imagine Kafka voiced by anything else by anyone else? I can't. Like, I don't think you can replicate Kafka's voice acting. She's she's special. It's one no one else can do it. Sage, Topaz has been very static so far. Aventurine still has tons to explore. I actually kind of disagree. I think Topaz has developed as a character. She developed slightly as a character within Bellabog after obviously Hibiko came in. But I think Topaz potentially has a lot to explore as well. We still haven't really touched on her backstory a lot, and her seemingly being one of the few Stonehearts that seems to have a good conscience compared to the rest. Like, I would love to see Topaz and Jade eventually come like to odds. You know what I mean? Like Jade does something that is like morally like wrong, and Topaz seemingly having a pretty decent moral code starts to question her loyalty to the IPC. To me, that would be so interesting. But I agree, Aventurine like is obviously the better character. Like Aventurine is one of the best characters in the game. I just think Topaz is really interesting. I think she's definitely underrated. I think it's so Kafka at this point. So yeah, a new VA would kill her instantly. Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying they can't do anything to Topaz. I'm just saying that she's under Jade's shadow for a lot of the arcs after Billabong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like I feel like they could do something there. You know what I'm saying, Sage? Like, yeah, I agree. She's been under Jade's shadow, but like that's like purposeful, I think. Like I feel like they could take that dynamic and expand it. Like I just in my head, I feel like they could really do something really interesting with like Jade doing something, Topaz not agreeing with that, and her having to like come to terms with like her mentor figure doing something that kind of like contrasts her moral code. That'd be so cool for me. I just think that'd be such a cool character like direction to take with both of them. Obviously, they might not do it, but just the fact that they could do something like that to me makes both of their characters interesting. Aventurine though takes the cake. Like Aventurine is just Aventurine. Like you can't say much about that, right? So, also one other thing, Topaz and Aventurine are such a cute ship. I love that ship. I think Topaz and Aventurine is such a great ship. Hey, let me say it right now. I also think Aventurine Ratio is a great ship. I can ship two different ships at the same time. That is entirely possible. Aventurine is just a very shippable character. I love him with Ratio. I love him with Topaz. Each one of them is great. Speaking of Ratio, as I said before, I love Ratio. He's gonna do pretty well. He's ahead of Ranmei here. Ranmei is really interesting as well as a character. I think she just needs a little bit more screen time for her to be more fleshed out.
So just waiting for her to get more screen time. Her dynamic with Herta is obviously super super good. So just needs a little bit more time. For now, it's a ratio for me. Zhu, unfortunately, Zhu Yi and Hanya are gonna rank pretty low. Yes, I understand their backstory is incredibly tragic. They just, it's all through lore. I haven't seen it on screen. I'm sorry, I just haven't. So we're gonna go with Ron May. If I had to pick my favorite between the two, I do think it's Hanya because I just like her design a bit more. So we're gonna go with Hanya. Um, a heavy hitter, Black Swan, Aventurine, two fantastic characters. Again, it's Aventurine. Aventurine might be six, honestly, guys. Aventurine, one of the best written characters in the entire game. I think before Finan, I think most people would say he was objectively the best written character in the game. Like before Amphoreuus, a lot of people had him number one. He is just such a great character. I mean, he just is, man. Here is an interesting battle. I think I'm gonna go with Black Swan here. But man, is it close? I think they're gonna be very close in rankings to each other. If you had asked me who would I have ahead of each other, like around 3.4, like 3.3, I might have Akron ahead, which was which might be pretty surprising. But yeah, I mean, I just think Black Swan is super interesting. I loved her role in Amphoreuus. I think she's going to be a character that stays around for a long time. I wish she joined Astral Express. I think Akron might be the better written character, but I think I just prefer Black Swan by a hair. By a hair. So we're going to go Black Swan here. Shades, we should be seeing a new Stoneheart doing Planar Arcadia. Not sure which one. I hope it's Obsidian. I want to see Obsidian. That character has me by the fucking heart. That design looks so cool. No offense, but I really find Jade and Topaz really creepy. Jade is very old. I know they are shipped. I don't see that as a ship. I just see that as a mentor figure being endearing to her protege, or whatever you want to call it. If they wanted to do like a relationship between the two of them, fair. I don't see it as that creepy because Asian Star Rail is like super weird. Like Asian Star Rail, like some characters are like thousands of years old, others are like hundreds of years old. They're still super young. Like I have no idea how old Topaz is. Like she could be, you could tell me Topaz is 300 years old or 26 years old, and I'd be like sure. So, I don't see it as a ship. I know it's shipped. I don't see it. So don't forget Leo. We must never forget. Thank you, Black Swan. True, true. Thank you, Black Swan. Fucking save the universe. Took us to Amphoreuus. We got trauma. Like thanks, Black Swan, for the trauma, but it was necessary. It was necessary. Akron here. I've said my piece on Sparkle. It's Akron. Um, this is a bit closer. Before it was pretty easily Misha, but I just feel like Sparkle is just such the her scope as a character is just so much larger than Misha's. Like Sparkle has so much to offer the Star Rail story, will always have so much to offer the Star Rail story, and Misha's character is just done. I think honestly, if you were to ask me who is the better written character, it's Misha, but I have to go with Sparkle here, just off the scope of the character alone. Um, Moving on. Boot Hill. I can talk about Boot Hill for a bit. Boot Hill is great. He's one of the, I think, best written characters secretly. Like he's very underrated. His role in 2.6, I think, alongside Rappa was really great. I think his backstory is incredibly tragic. And one thing that I really appreciate about Boot Hill's character is how important he seems to be. They've definitely expanded his character scope a lot more than I ever expected him to be. Or I ever expected his character scope to be. Like I expected Boot Hill to kind of be like a one and done character. Like I thought he was going to be introduced, he was going to be fun, and we were going to move on. But they've brought him back a lot. They brought him back in the War Dance. They brought him back in 2.6, and obviously we have his connection with Oswaldo. He's a pretty important character to the overall Star Rail narrative, which is really cool. And I love characters like that. So yeah, super great character. Love Boot Hill. He'll do pretty well in these rankings. That said, it's Robin. Sorry. Boot Hill easily over Gallagher. Fei Xiao over Jade. Jade is cool. Fei Xiao, the far better character, the better written character, the cooler character, the more important character at the moment. So, this one's a bit closer. Jade Chao Cho. Man, I actually don't know. I don't feel like I have a strong opinion on this one. I'm gonna go with my gut. I think it's Jade. Yun Lee. Sunday. Here we go. I've talked about Fugue already. I can talk about her a bit more now. Fugue is fantastic, isn't she? Or Ting Yun, whatever you want to call her. I mean, what a character performance in 2.7. Like, we all thought Sunday was going to take the spotlight, and I think Sunday did take the spotlight in 2.7. But man, I was enthralled by Fugue's character. I wish her emotionally vulnerable. I want more screen time with Ting Yun. Just give me more Ting Yun. Please give me more Ting Yun. Also, some of the best trailers in the entire game. Mighty Aglaya. Aglaya, I love you. I'm sorry. You guys know why I love Aglaya. She's super underrated. I was really sad that they were going to squander her character's potential after 3.0. Then she got screen time in 3.3. She got screen time in 3.4. She kept getting screen time, and her character slowly got better over time. Fantastic character. That said, it's Mighty. Let me catch up to chat. Sage, I think I'd choose Misha here just because I really don't like Sparkle, but I'm always ready to open my eyes to her in 4.x. Honestly, Sage, that was me for so long. Like, I didn't like Sparkle, but over time, I've realized, and obviously, like, she is super fun. Like, Sparkle is just super fun. She just wasn't like a character that I felt very invested in, but she's one of the most important characters in the overall Star Rail narrative. She just is. She has so much to offer Star Rail because of how we don't know how powerful she is, right? But she's clearly going to play a big role in the narrative. She's going to play a big role in Planet Arcadia. And I just feel like when you have a character with a scope as large as Sparkle's, you just kind of have to recognize that. So I do think Misha is the better character, but I have to recognize how important Sparkle is. Boot Hill for me is one of the best anti-heroes in the game. He can be so ruthless, but can also be such a goofy, nice guy. Well said. Well said. I agree. Do you know about the Boot Hill Robin ship? Yeah, I think it's kind of cute. I wouldn't say I necessarily ship it personally, but if they were to expand on it, I could see myself shipping it for sure. We also got to see Aglaya being not the leader, and she was so lovely. Perfectly said, Sage. Lovely is the word that I would use to describe Aglaya. Her character is lovely. The way her character is written is lovely. Her personality, I think, is lovely. Her appearance, her design is lovely. I think most of you guys would agree with me on this. By far, the best 3D model in the game is Aglaya's. Not her design. Not her design. Her model. Like the 3D model of the character that you see in the game, it's Aglaya. By a country mile, I think. Well, maybe not. I think Himiko has the second best model in the game because she has the best hair in the game. And then you get, I think Anaxa also has a fantastic 3D model as well. But Aglaya has the best 3D. I don't know what they did. They just popped off with her 3D model. So we also got to see, I read it. Her VA just fits her character. It just is. Everything works. Yeah, Aglaya's character is just so good. What an underrated character. She's going to do very well. Having said that, Aglaya over Castris. Sorry, Castris. Suki, if you're still here, I'm sorry, my friend, but it is Aglaya. Castris, they're Herta. This one's a bit more interesting, actually. I think I'm going to go with Castris, but Herta is pretty high. Like we said, her dynamic with Screwlum is fantastic. Her role in Amphoreus was great. I love the fact that she's kind of like this. She's very prideful, right? But she's got an ego, but she's definitely got the walk, the back to talk. And more importantly, I love that she has a conscience. Like Herta is constantly portrayed as like this like genius character. Like she's very like supposedly right. She's apathetic, but she's not. Herta cares a lot. She's very sympathetic. She's very empathetic. She just pretends not to be, and I really love that about her. She's definitely shot up my character rankings a lot. She's just not ahead of Casterus. She might be ahead of Dribby actually. She might. I think she is. I think my gut's telling me she is. Fine and Hyacinth, two heavy hitters. I mean, these are potentially two of my top 15 characters in the game. But like I said, Finan is number 5. He's number 5. Let's talk about Cypher for a bit, right? Holy shit, is this character attractive? I'm sorry. God damn, bro. Oh man, I did not expect them to go so hard on how hot they made Cypher. Jesus Christ. She is really attractive, obviously, but she is a fantastic character as well. Her whole thing, like her being like the secret savior of Akuma during the first half of Amphoreus, her dynamic with Aglaya, the way she, very similar to kind of like the Herta, the way she pretends to be someone she isn't, right? She is definitely much more sympathetic and empathetic than she likes to portray herself to be. She cares a lot about people. She is a hero. She is a hero character who does not get recognized for her heroics. She's a tragic character. She dies alone. Like, obviously, there's that moment where she like sees Aglaya, but that's not Aglaya. That is not Aglaya. That is a lie that she told herself, and she projected Aglaya's character in front of her during her death. She's a very tragic character. She's ridiculously attractive. One of the best voice acting performances in the entire game. I know I've said that a lot. Honkai Star Rail's voice acting is really good. I'm sorry. That said, I'm sorry. It's Aizen. It's Aizen. But she does rank highly. She does rank ahead of Anaxa. Anaxa, unfortunately, is going to be one of the lower ranked Chrysos heirs for me. I love him. Don't get me wrong. He's very cool, but I just like the other Chrysos heirs more. How high is Constance gonna rank? Because I think she's ahead of Heislands. I'm just now realizing, guys, how highly Constance is gonna be. She's gonna be really high. I didn't think she was gonna be this high. Heislands over Evernight. I think this is where the Evernight kind of caps for me. I need to see more of Evernight. Heislands for me is just a better character. She's better written at this current moment in time. I know her character arc is over, but it just is more compelling to me at the moment over Evernight. Thirda is great, but yeah, she has way more to do in the story. Yeah, I mean, she's already like a lot of people's favorite character in this entire game. I think with time, Herta is just gonna rank higher and higher for me. Like, for example, Golson used to have Herta pretty low, like the way I did. Now, one of Golson's favorite characters in the entire game is the Herta. I think he has her in her top 10, in his top 10. Sorry. You'd never see her as a sacrificial type. Oh, absolutely. You could say that for both Herta and Cypher. Cypher's twist was top 3 in Amphoreus. Oh yeah, her twist was awesome. I mean, what a moment, and just really well done. It just was. Cypher saved Aglaya's character, to be honest. I disagree. I can kind of see why you would say that. Like Cypher, I think, was the character to open up Aglaya's, to give Aglaya's character the opportunity to be good. I will say that. But I think they could have easily done that with any character. Aglaya's character was written and set up in a way to where they could have brought her character forward the way they did with Cypher, however they wanted. Coincidentally, it was just Cypher who ended up unearthing Aglaya's character. But they could have Aglaya's character was set up to be so good from the start. I think they could have written Aglaya's kind of like character in 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4 whenever they wanted. Just coincidentally, they decided to tie it to Cypher, and it just worked. It was beautiful indeed. Cypher's VA was her very first time voice working in her character. I know, insane. You know what else? You could same with Aventurine. Aventurine's VA is Camden. It was the first time he ever did voice acting in his career as well. Crazy stuff. They were both actors before they did Aventurine and Cypher, so obviously they had skills and they had the skill. But yeah, fantastic voice acting performance, and for it being their very first, that's crazy stuff. I think that's what I love most about Amphoreus. All these characters' pasts are about them and their bond, and Trailblazer learns that over time they are part of their arcs like that. Oh yeah, I mean the Chrysos Heirs are the best, most compelling faction in the game at the moment. Then obviously the Astral Express and the Stellaron Hunters. Over time, it will be the Astral Express and the Stellaron Hunters, but for now, it's the Chrysos Heirs. I'm gonna go with Evernight here by a hair. Again, these are two are going to be some of the more lower ranked Chrysos Heirs. Ooh. Okay. God, let me take a sip of tea because this one's gonna be a hard one. Bro, I'm only 35% of the way through. We gotta speed this up. We're almost at 2 hours. So basically, the question is here: do I pick the better character, or do I pick my favorite character? Who do I pick here? Don Hung is a better character. Himiko, I think, is probably the character that I prefer over Don Hung. And also, Himiko eventually is going to be amazing. The Sage, I know, but like, I just like her more. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I understand. If this was a objective character ranking, then it's Don Hung. But this is my character ranking. You know what I'm? Ooh, but Don Hung. I also love Don Hung. This is hard. Oh, and she's gonna get so much. Like, do I forecast how amazing Himiko is gonna be in Planar Arcadia here? Ugh, this is tough. This is tough, man. If it's about liking, then choose whatever. That's why Sparkle would be so low on my list. Lamau. Yeah, for me, it's like a mix. It's a mix of how much I like the character, how good their character is, how well written they are, like their trailers, how important the character is. That's something that I actually value a lot that I think a lot of people don't. Like, even if I don't like a character, Sparkle's a good example. I will always respect a character's role in a story. Like, if I like, I like Misha more than I like Sparkle, but Sparkle's importance to the overall Star Rail narrative is so much more larger than Misha's. I respect that aspect of her character. I respect how ambitious they've made her character, and that earns her a little bit of points. So like it's a mix of many different things. Ultimately, like only I understand, right, how I rank these characters. I could try to explain it to you all as best as I could, and you guys would never understand because it's just a feeling I have in my chest. Oh man, I think I'm gonna go with Himiko. Oh, do I go with Himiko? I do go with Himiko. This is me projecting slightly. I will say that. This is me projecting, but I feel like I've earned a projection. Dunhung. Okay, here we go. Back to easy choices. The Trailblazer. March. Again, Natasha is gonna be high, guys. She just is. The Battle of the Daughters. The two daughter characters in Star Rail. Who do we go here? Do we go with Pela or do we go with Clara? Clara has the better design. I think she's cuter than Pela. Pela is the better character. What do I value more? I don't know. Ah, man, this is tough. I think it's Pela. The moment where Pela kind of learns the truth about her mom and she starts to cry, that moment really hit me hard. Yeah, Pela is one of the better 4 stars in this game. I'm Serval or Clara? I think I'm gonna go with Clara here. I know I said Serval had dropped a bit. I think I'm gonna go with the daughter. I'm gonna have to go with my daughter. This one's a bit tough. Let me catch up to you, Sage. Sage, they have a lot of stuff to do with Sparkle, to be honest. If they want to push her, they have to make her more understandable. They have to make her more understandable more during 4.x. I don't think they have to make her more understandable. I think they have to give her substance. A lot of Sparkle's character right now is potential. Like, she is potentially interesting. Like, obviously, her connection to the Elation, her trailer, everything about Sparkle is like to be seen later, right? They just have to actually write it now. Like, once they actually give Sparkle the screen time, her character is exactly her character is potential memes. The thing is, I have to respect the potential. I can't ignore the potential. It's there, and I trust the Star Rail team to write it well, because every time I've trusted them, they do something good. Like I said, I'm open. Yeah, you and I are in the same position, Sage. We don't like Sparkle that much, but we are open to see what happens. So bring her on. Bring her on. I'm gonna go with Yanqing here. I just think he's the better character. Serval. Branya. Japard. Okay. Again, Yukong is fucking awesome. Yukong might be the no, it's between Natasha or Yukong for the highest 4-star that I will have on this list, I think. It's gonna be close. I think it's Natasha still. I think it is Natasha. Blade over Zila. Silver Wolf over Zila. Both are cool. Both are. Jing Yuan has a more important. He's a much more important character in the story. He's also better voice. I think it's Jing Yuan. I think it is. Zila. Bailu. Chincha. Locha is ahead of Shushang. Like I said, Locha wasn't gonna rank that highly, but he's gonna rank ahead of Shushang. Kafka over Topaz. Kafka again. She's Kafka. I mean, what else can I say? Now this is fun. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. This is Topaz. I'm gonna pick Topaz here. I'm one of Topaz's biggest defenders. I will say that. I think a lot of people aren't as high on Topaz than I am. And but I just think Luca's a fantastic character. I just think his character is over. The scope of his character is limited, restricted, right? Topaz is a Stoneheart. She's going to be relevant for so long. I think she's already a pretty interesting character. I think she's a well-written character. This is, I think, a bit closer than you might think, but it is Topaz by a little bit. Now this is close. This is a good fight. Ooh, who do I pick here? I don't know this. Sage, I was very iffy on Anaxa, and he's one of my faves. Oh yeah, Sage, I know you love Anaxa. Anaxa is very cool. I will say that. I mean, he's a Chrysos heir. All the Chrysos heirs are going to do very well in these rankings. I still think it's crazy that Yangqing beat Hule instead of the focused banner character Fei Xiao. Well, they kind of both did, right? Like, Fei Xiao had that moment internally where she fought against like Hule's spirit and how he wanted to kind of take over and corrupt her, and she won. So, but yeah, they were the focus characters for that story arc. It was Fei Xiao and Yangqing. That's why Yangqing went from arguably my least favorite character in the game, not named Arlen, and to being middle of the pack. I love Yangqing. I think he's great. For Christ's sakes, I just ranked Yangqing ahead of Serval. Like, that's crazy. If you had told me, hey, Leo, you're gonna at one point Yangqing is gonna be higher ranked than Serval if you had told me that back in 1.0, I would have called you fucking insane. I did not like Yangqing, and now he's great. Damn, this is a fucking choice. Oh, I think I don't know. This is as close to a tie as you can get. I think it's Luca. By a hair. Hua. Jingliu. Yeah, Jingliu. Argenti, I think. Fushuan. Lynx by a hair. Aventurine over Ratio. I've said my piece on both of these. Let me talk about Ratio for a bit, because I've just said that I really like him. I think Ratio is so interesting. The fact that he is a character that seems to be like on the same level as a genius, but isn't a genius because he has disdain for the Genius Society. Ratio very kind of similar to Herda and Cypher in a way, where they portray themselves as they have this persona that they kind of on the surface level they like to portray themselves as, but internally they are a different person. Ratio, obviously, he's like very haughty, very prideful, but when you really get down to his core beliefs, he is a very empathetic and sympathetic person. He has a good moral code. He has, I think, Ratio has one of the healthier approaches to like knowledge that compared to any like a lot of the genius society is fucking insane, right? Like they're all like they're so smart and intellectual that they're crazy, right? Ratio is close to that level of intelligence or on the same level of that level of intelligence, but he's grounded. He understands how dangerous knowledge can be, and so he wants to approach it healthily. I love that about his character. Just super interesting character. And his conversation with Skrullum, was it Skrullum? Who it was Skrullum, right? It at the end of that of his introduction story quest that they gave was super cool. Yeah, Sage. I think Ratio would get along well with Anaxa as well. I would love to see that dynamic. Love to see it. So, okay, yeah, it was Skrullum. Also, another thing about Ratio, really, really fun. Like he just has a lot of chemistry with other characters. Obviously, the main one being the character next to him. His chemistry with Aventurine is fantastic. So, Sage, we just need a new 5-star Yanqing for sale. Yes, please inject it into my fucking veins. I will summon for a new 5-star Yanqing for sure. Having said that, it's Aventurine. Excuse me. I am sorry. Let me take a drink really quick. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm still not fully recovered. And I've been talking for like 2 hours straight. I apologize. I do not like coughing into the microphone. Anywho, it's Aventurine. Black Swan. Now this is close. It is Akron, but not by much. Not by much. That'll tell you how much I like Ratio. It is Akron, but Ratio is a bit closer than Akron than I think most people would have. Ratio over Sparkle. Ron May over Sparkle. Sparkle over Hanya. Misha over Hanya. Yeah, this we're getting to the point now where this is easier, right? This is a bit closer. I do have Boot Hill ahead of Fei Xiao. I just think Boot Hill is such an interesting character. I love him. He's super fun. Fei Xiao is super cool, but we haven't gotten that much of her, right? So I'm going Boot Hill here. Sage, Aventurine is probably my fave story arc in Penacony. He's just so multi-layered. The Hanya sweep. I'm sorry, man. Some characters in this there are some characters in this game you just know. They were just there. Some characters in this game were introduced simply to give you an option for a team if you didn't have a 5-star option. That's all they're there for. But yeah, I mean, obviously my favorite story arc is do I even have to say, right? But Aventurine, if you were to tell me his story arc is objectively the best in Penacony, yeah, I could see that. But after 3.8, even after 3.8, I mean, Firefly. I'm not even gonna get into it. It's Firefly. You guys know me. Face Xiao over Gallagher. Jade over Gallagher. Gallagher used to be pretty high for me. He's kind of dropped a bit for me. It's the same thing with Misha. His character is just so restricted and limited in scope. Just Jade is just one of the most important characters in the entire game. So also she's hot. JD, if you're still there, not sure if you're still there, man. I'm sorry that I keep picking against your husband. That's why 4 stars died off, which I am a fan of. I much prefer this approach of giving us free 5 stars instead of 4 stars. Like giving us free 5 stars and giving characters the proper focus that they deserve is, I think, a much better approach than just giving us 4 stars that just aren't going to be that good, and they're not going to get the attention within the story. Like, look what happened to Motsa. Like, just look at what happened to Motsa. Just one of the worst characters in the game, and just I feel like they realized we can't do this again. We just can't. Like, we can't spend the amount of time it takes to, develop a character gameplay wise, create a kit, create a model for them, and for just that to be the result. Like, no. So yeah, I much rather prefer the free 5-star approach that they're doing instead of the 4 stars. Gallagher is just gone now, but we still have to find out who his creator is. Yeah, I agree, Sage. I don't think they will, unfortunately. I just don't think they will give Gallagher any attention. I think they retired Misha and Gallagher's character, and they will never touch on them again. And the free 5 stars aren't shit so far. Yeah, I mean, Ratio when he first came out was arguably the best DPS in the game. Then obviously we got Archer with the collab, and he is again still to this day one of the best DPSs in the game. Did I miss one? I missed they gave us the ability to select characters like Ron May, Locha, and now obviously Topaz. Ron May, still to this day, one of the best supports in the game. Locha, if you need a 5-star sustain, pick him up. Topaz, one of the best members for the follow-up team. If you don't have Cypher, you use Topaz. And Don Hung, fucking insane. Arguably the best sustain in the game, him or Hyacinth, whoever you want to pick, right? So yeah, the free 5 stars they've given, and you can even throw the Trailblazer. Starting with the Harmony Trailblazer at one point could be argued to be was the best support in the game. Then you got Remembrance Trailblazer. Again, one of the best supports in the game. Like, they've been really generous with how good the 5 stars have been that are free. So yeah, Archer is insane. He's going to get even better after the Sparkle buffs. That character is ridiculous for being a free character. The fact that we got him and his Lycone for free is... Thank you, Horrorverse. Thank you. Sage, Harmony Trailblazer is still solid. Lazy Trailblazer should be next. Yeah, obviously. Yunli over Gallagher. Jiao Cho over Gallagher. Ling Sha over... Well, actually... No. Gallagher over Ling Sha. Damn. The battle of the top 5. Is this the first battle of the top 5 that we've had? Obviously, we know the choice here, right? But just look at the firepower on the screen right now. Like, holy shit. Mighty and Sunday. Fuck, man. This is peak Star Rail right here. Sunday. Mighty over Fugue. Ooh, this is interesting. I know the answer. This is Aglaya. But Fugue is close. I love Fugue, guys. Fugue is really close. She's going to be one of the characters that kind of penetrates the Crisis areas. Like, she's going to be better. I'm going to rank Fugue ahead of, like, Anaxa and Saradra and Evernight, for example. I'm not going to rank her ahead of Aglaya, but she's going to kind of penetrate the Crisis areas wall. But it is Aglaya. I think I do have Casters ahead of Fugue, but slightly. It's Fugue. I have Fugue ahead of Herda. Herda ahead of Rappa. Tribi ahead of Rappa, obviously. Another battle of the top 5, but this one's easier, right? I've said before, Cyrene and Firefly are in their own tier. And I mean that. Like, if I were to do a tier list, Cyrene and Firefly would be an S tier. No one would be in A tier. And then starting with Sunday with B, he would be in B tier. That's what I'm saying when I say they're in their own separate tier. Like, Firefly and Cyrene are light years ahead. There's an entire tier gap between number 2 and number 3. Sage, I'm still upset that I can't get Jiao Cho. I love him as a character, but his kit literally does nothing for my current teams and playstyle. He is... I can see that, Sage. I can see why some people love Jiao Cho so much. his moment with Hule and Fei Xiao in 2.4, 2.5 was really cool. His well voice acted. And he is like a character you can just get behind, right? Like he's an underrated character. I feel like that you can kind of like a dark horse character that you can just like really fall in love with. Personally, I didn't fall in love with him, but I can see why you did. Imaginary men are always the hardest. Imaginary men, man, we will take them. I will take more imaginary men any day. When he poisoned, yeah, exactly. When he poisoned his own blood to trick Kool-Aid, that went hard as well. Yeah, one of the highlight moments of that entire story quest for sure. Cyrene. Finan, obviously, but Dahlia is gonna place really Hyacinth over Dahlia. Okay, I'm starting to kind of figure out where Constance is gonna place. I think it's around here. This is where she's gonna place. I think I like her better than Cypher. I like her. Oh wait, no. I like Heislin's. Oh fuck me. I think I like Heislin's more than Cypher, but Sage, you're gonna be so disappointed in me. Cypher is so fucking hot. I might pick her. Oh fuck me. What do I pick? Who do I pick here? No, Cypher is absurdly attractive, but I think it is gonna be Heislin's. Cypher over Evernight. Anaxa over Evernight. Ooh. Fuck. This is painful. Oh man. Historically, it's been Natasha over Himeko. Historically, it has been. But again, I think I gotta project, man. I gotta start showing my love for Himeko early. And she was always gonna play super highly. Like Himeko was historically always in my top 10, like somewhere in my like 10 to 15 range. I just think I need to start putting her where she is going to eventually be, closer to the top 5. Yeah, it's gonna be Himeko. Oh, Natasha, but not by much. Not by much. Dunhung, the Trailblazer. March, Welt, Pela, Clara, Yanqing, Serval, Branya, Japard, probably Sampo, Herda. Damn, that was the Herda sweep right there. I am sorry. I'm considering that Herda the puppet. Let me make that very clear. Herda the puppet is not the same as the Herda. Two different characters. Obviously, I know they are the same character, but no. From a narrative perspective, they are two different characters. Two very different roles. Sage, you can also pick Cypher because she's a cat lady. Oh man, I for a second there, Sage, I wanted to. For a second. Bro, who are the hottest characters in this game? Number 1 is Kafka. Number 2 is Black Swan. Easy. After that, it's a battle. It is a battle. I think it's like a battle between Cypher, Himeko, Topaz, Dahlia, Constance, obviously. Like it is a bloodbath for that 3 to 5 spot. Just Kafka, Black Swan, 1-2 easily. Asta over Hook. This isn't. Let me say that right now. Arlen is my least favorite character in the game. You could honestly remove this character from the game, and the game would be better for it. He might be the only character in this game. Actually, no, Motsa as well. Arlen and Motsa are the only characters in this game that I think I dislike. All the other characters, I'm like, eh. I either like love you, right, or I'm indifferent about you. But those two, I think I dislike. That said, Hook. I'm sorry. This is the first time Yukong. I'm sorry. You are gonna be very high, but I just cannot put you above Kafka. But I can put you above Topaz. This is interesting. Let me catch up with you here, Sage. Himiko's gonna give you all the coffee at this rate. Yeah. I mean, I've loved Himiko from the beginning. I mean, like I said, she was. If I did not pull Himiko the way I did at the beginning of the game, full odds out of nowhere, she was the reason I kept playing this game. Himiko was my favorite character in was my first favorite character in Honkai Impact the Third before Alicia took over. I love Himiko. I loved her from the start. I defended her even when she was like fucking horrible from like a gameplay perspective. Um, she was a character I used to run around with in the overworld until I got Firefly. Like until I got Black Swan. Himiko was a character I used to run around in the overworld with. And I've loved her from the start. And she's getting an SP. She's gonna get screen time. She's gonna be probably my third favorite character in the game at some point. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of like making sure that she is getting closer and closer to that level in this ranking. Himiko did have a great part in 2.7 with Jade and the family representative during Penacony. Oh yeah, for sure. And not to say Himiko hasn't been awesome in the story. Like obviously she hasn't gotten a lot of screen time, but she's lovely. She's beautiful. She's kind and considerate. She's intelligent. There's obviously something going on with her. Like fucking Christ. When in 2.7 the universe fucking ended and two characters came to see us. Himiko and Kafka. To me, that is still crazy. I never thought Himiko was going to be that important. I knew she was going to be important, not that important. So obviously she's interesting. She just needs the screen time. So we'll get her eventually. Sage, oh wait, it was probably 2.3 with Himiko stuff. Yes, 2.3 was the meeting with Jade and OT. 3.7, yes, I did. Sorry, 3.7. I made the same mistake. Anywho, I don't know. I think Blade or Topaz. I think I want to go with Topaz. Blade over Luca. I think this is where Luca starts to kind of feel kind of like the fact that he's a 4-star, unfortunately. Yeah, I think Silverwolf over Luca, which is crazy to say. I would say, like, if you had asked me in 3.4, Luca was ahead of Silverwolf. I think I have Silverwolf ahead of Luca now. Luca ahead of Jingyuan, though. Huahua ahead of Jingyuan. Jingyuan ahead of Jingliu. Well, actually, hold on. No, Huahua ahead of Jingyuan. Jingyuan ahead of Jingliu. Zila ahead of Jingliu. Let me think about that a bit more. Let me think about this. Zila ahead of Jingliu. No, I think Jingliu ahead of Zila. Argenti and Zila is difficult. I think it's Zila. I think Bailu has it of Argenti as well. Okay, now this is just like meme versus meme. Funny character versus funny character. Which funny character do I prefer? I think it's Argenti. Qingche over Fuxuan. Fuxuan over Locha. Locha over Lynx. Lynx over Shishang. The Battle of the Mediocre. I'm sorry. I don't really care about these characters that much. I don't know. Do I go with Guanifan because she's got the better design and she's a streamer? Or do I go with Xu Shang because she's, I think, more likable? I think I go with Xu Shang. Man, talk about peak star rail right here. Talk about peak star rail right here. How did we go from this choice, Guanifan Xu Shang, to this one? We've went from the bottom of the spectrum to the tippity top, brother. Bro, holy shit. Firefly, obviously, but the kind of like the drastic difference between those two comparisons is insane. Sage, I think Silverwolf in 4.x will be absolutely amazing for her character exploration. I agree. I'm really excited for Silverwolf screen time. Sage, Guanifan voices Aglaya, so there you go, easy. That is true, but I don't know. I think I just like Shushang just a bit more. Two very completely different voices as well. Aventurine over Robin. I love Robin though. Black Swan over Robin. Slightly. I think they're pretty close to each other. Oh, I think Robin over Akron. Do I have Robin over Akron? Yeah. Akron over Boot Hill. Ratio over Boot Hill. Ah, I don't know. I don't know. I am not sure. I think I might have Boot Hill over Ratio now. My heart is telling me Boot Hill. Yeah, damn. Okay, that's a difference. I think Boot Hill is Boot Hill is funnier. But I used to always have Ratio ahead of Boot Hill, but I think Boot Hill is ahead of Ratio now. Ratio over Fei Xiao. Fei Xiao over Ron Mei. Ron Mei over Jade. Jade over Sparkle. Yunli over Sparkle. Zhao Cho over Sparkle. Sparkle over Gallagher. Misha over Gallagher. Gallagher over Hanya. Lingsha over Hanya. Fuck. Again, like, we go from this to fucking this. Cyrene over Sunday, obviously. But damn. Peak Star Rail again, right here. Sunday over Finan. Sunday over Finan. Mighty over Finan. Finan over Aglaya. We are now defining like the exact placements of these characters now. Oh man, these are close. These are close. This is close. Oh, fuck me. This is a tie. It just is. I can't pick. I can't. I don't even think I could say Aglaya is the better character. Like, yeah, Aglaya develops more as a character. She's a deeper character, but Hyacinth you could argue Hyacinth is the best static character in the game. Like, fuck. Jesus Christ. Who do I pick here? Who do I pick here? You know what? Hold on. I'm going to reference my previous list. I know this is fucking cheating. This is my previous list. I had Aglaya over Hyacinth. Hyacinth behind Welt and March? What the fuck was I thinking? I'm going to keep that up in case we need to reference it in the future. God, that's embarrassing. Holy shit. Hyacinth should not have been that low. In that case, I think I'll go with Aglaya. But do I feel like that's wrong? I'm gonna go with Aglaya. That's a tie. That's as close to a tie as it ever will be. I think Firefly will be number one. What makes you think that, Sage? What makes you think that, Sage? Hyacinth. Oh dear. This is where Dahlia places. It's either ahead or behind Casterus. Oh, hell. I think it's Casterus. Okay, we're getting some tough decisions now. Who do I like more? Fugue or Constance? This is a tie. This is just like Hyacinth and Aglaya. Sage, surely you didn't mess up the number one placement. Did I pick against Firefly? I didn't, right? I picked her over Aventurine. I don't think I don't think I misclicked. I think I'm fine. This is a tie. This is just like a Glide and Hyacinth. Just like a Glide. And the worst part about this is I can't reference my previous ranking because Constance wasn't in there. So I actually have to choose. Constance. Oh, it's so hard. It's Constance. Fugue. Herda. Hycelins. Cypher. Tribby. Anaxa. Evernight. Saradra. Fuck me. I don't know. Previously, it was Kafka, but like I said, I'm like I want to rank Himiko as high as I can. I can't. This is I think where Himiko plateaus for now. For now, Himiko will eventually surpass Kafka. Like I said, when her SP, she's gonna get screen time. Himiko eventually is gonna be above Kafka, but for now, Kafka still takes it. I do think I'm gonna put Himiko ahead of Yukong and Natasha now, though. Oh wait, no, I picked Natasha over Himiko, didn't I? I don't know. What did I? No, I didn't. Okay, I think I want Himiko to be above Natasha Yukong. These two are the same. This is the same placement. So for future reference, this is like where I would like have these two. Let me just make sure. Yukong or Natasha. Yeah, okay. Like pretty much, I had them pretty much identical in my previous ranking. I had Yukong ahead by a little bit more. Do I still think that? Do I still have Yukong ahead of Natasha? This is as again. This is a tie, basically, virtually. I actually don't think so. I might have Natasha ahead of Yukong. There, it's a tie. I'm gonna go Natasha. Yukong. Yeah, I know. I just picked Yukong ahead of Don Hung. I know. Don Hung, the Trailblazer, March, Welt, Topaz. Ooh, that's tough. Sage, I think you picked her the whole way, to be honest. Okay, good. I talk about Firefly, right? Okay, the Firefly should be number one. No, you said you liked Himiko more. Thank you. Himiko should be ahead of Yukong and Natasha. Pela or Blade? Would it be crazy to say Pela is a better character? I think she is. But I just think this is a very like Misha Sparkle situation, but I actually like Sparkle in this scenario. Blade is just the so much more important character over Pela. Again, I'm going to reference my old ranking. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I had Blade just slightly ahead of Pela. Blade, I do think I have Pela ahead of Silverwolf though. Yeah. But I think I have Silverwolf ahead of Clara. Actually, I don't know. No, yeah, I think I do. I think Clara, this is a tie again. Basically just pure raw cuteness versus actually like good character. I'm gonna go with Clara ever so slightly. Yang Ching ever so slightly. Luca's ahead of Serval. Serval's ahead of Hua Hua, I think. Branya, I think is ahead of Hua Hua. Hua Hua ahead of Japard. Jing Yuan ahead of Japard. Jing Liu ahead of Japard. Jing Liu has really shot up for me, hasn't she? God damn, I used to have her really low. Zila ahead of Japard. Bailu ahead of Japard. I think Japard ahead of Argenti. Sampo ahead of Argenti. Argenti over Herda. Chincha. Fushuan. Locha. Herda. Lynx. Asta. Sushang. Gunaifen. Here it is. Here it is. We know what the ranking is, but Holy fuck. Can we focus on this for just a bit? Can we just appreciate this? This is my peak star rail right here. This is my second favorite character of all time and my fourth favorite character of all time, who is well on her way to becoming my third favorite character of all time. Every day I consider putting Cyrene over my third favorite character of all time. If you didn't know, my third favorite character of all time is Velvet Crow from Tales of Berseria. But it's a battle. It's every day it's a battle between Velvet and Cyrene. Um man, just peak star rail right here, at least for me personally. I know some people don't like Cyrene. I know some people don't like Firefly. For me, this is the pinnacle. This is the peak. This is you. There, I don't think any character aside from potentially Himeko gets to this same level. Number one was already determined when this ranking started. Number two was determined when this ranking started. So, boop. Sunday over Venturine, Mighty over Venturine, Fighting over Venturine, Venturine over Aglaya. Now this is interesting. So in my previous ranking, I did have Aglaya over Black Swan. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think it's Black Swan. Aglaya over Robin. Hyacinth over Robin. Robin over Robin over Casterus. Acheron over Casterus. Casterus over Boot Hill. Constance over Boot Hill. Fugue over Boot Hill. I think Boot Hill over Herda, but the fact that I had to think about it is pretty interesting. Ratio over Herda. But Herda over Fei Xiao. Herda is climbing. Like I said, she's climbing. Hyacinth over Fei Xiao. Cypher over Fei Xiao. Tribi over Fei Xiao. So is Anaxa. This is interesting. I think it's Evernight, but this is closer. This is closer for sure. Fei Xiao, I think, sits like outside the Chrysos area slightly. Yeah, Sarah I also like more than Fei Xiao. But Fei Xiao over Rappa, certainly. So is Ron Mei. So is Jade. So is Yun Li. So is Yao Cho. Now this is interesting. I think I have Rappa ahead of Sparkle, to be honest. Let me check the previous ranking. Where did I have Rappa and Sparkle? Oh, look at that. I had them legitimately right next to each other with Sparkle over Rappa slightly. I think that might still be the case. Misha over Rappa, but Rappa over Gallagher. Gallagher over Motza, certainly. Yep. I want to see these two interact. They better give me very healthy screen time on this eventually. This is the one Celeron Hunter relationship that I feel like we're really missing. Like I want to see these two interact. Firefly. Cyrene. Sunday. Mighty. Finan. Aventurine. Kafka. Himiko. I didn't think about this. Oh shit. It's Black Swan. I think it's Natasha though. Natasha, Yukong, Aglaya, Hyacinth, Don Hung, I think. Trailblazer. But Robin. Acheron. March. Welt. Casterus. Constance. Fugue. Like I said, Sage, I love Topaz. Topaz. Boot Hill. I think I have Blade ahead of Ratio now as well. Blade. Ratio. Not slightly. Herda. Fuck. Heislands. Cypher. Tribi. This one's tough. I think it's Anaxa. But I think it might be Pela. It is Pela. This is interesting. I think this is Silverwolf. Ah, fuck. Cuteness over better, more higher scope character. I think it's Evernight by a hair. Clara. Yang Ching. I think Luca's still ahead of Serdra. Okay, this is hard. I think Serval still. Okay, Serdra, I think over Branya. Facial over Branya. Oh, fuck me. This is hard. Hold on. I'm going to go back to my previous ranking. Branya's here. Ron May is slightly ahead. I think that's still true. Ron May. Jade. We're getting closer to finishing. We're getting much closer to finishing. Ooh. This is hard. Again, let's reference the previous ranking. Or did I have Yunli versus Branya? I had Branya ahead, it looks like, but not by much. And I think that's still true. Hua Hua. Jingen. I think Jingliu is ahead of Yunli. I think Zila is as well. Bailu or Yunli? Bailu has really done pretty good in these rankings, I feel like, for me. Bailu and Yunli. I feel like they're both underrated. I don't know. I think it's Yunli by like a hair. Zhao Cho also, actually, I think it might be Bailu. It is Bailu. This is very close as well. I'm gonna keep cheating and bring up my ranking. Looks like I had Japard ahead of Zhao Cho. Do I still think that? I do. Same here. Let me just cheat again and reference my previous ranking. Looks like I had Zhao Cho ahead of Sampo. I think that's still true. Sparkle ahead of Sampo. Misha ahead of Sampo, I think. Rappa ahead of Sampo. Now, Sampo ahead of Gallagher. Argenti ahead of Gallagher. Chincha ahead of Gallagher. Fushuan ahead of Gallagher. Loja ahead of Gallagher. Gallagher ahead of Herda. Linkshaw. Herda. Lynx. Asta. Sushong. I think I like Hanya more, actually. Hanya. Do I not like Guanifin that much anymore? I feel like I want to pick Zhu Yi as well. You're ahead of Moza, that's for sure. Hook. Moza. And there we go. And there we have it. Take a look. Anyone who is still here, Sage, if you're still here, anyone watching the VOD, take a good long look. So, Firefly obviously at number 1, Cyrenia obviously at number 2. That was a given. Those were ones that we already knew. Then the rest of the top 5, I think, was also pretty much set in stone. Sunday, Mighty, Finan. This is the same top 5 that I had in my previous ranking, and it probably will be the top 5 until this character right here goes right here. This character right here is the one that I feel like is the one that can penetrate this top 5. She's probably going to go somewhere here or here, number 3 or 4. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the top 5 is pretty set in stone. Then I think you get into a little bit of mix-up within the rest of the top 10. Aventurine was 6 before, so Aventurine didn't move. Kafka, I think, might have gone up a spot or not, but Himiko definitely went up higher. Himiko is going to go very high. Seeker on YouTube. How's it going, my man? Base Firefly ranking, indeed. Of course, it was always going to be Firefly at number 1, Cyrene at number 2. Which is, I know, surprising to some of you. Cyrene has been pretty much the focus of this channel. We have an entire overlay dedicated to Cyrene, but Firefly is still number 1. So, who knows? Maybe Cyrene one day will surpass Firefly. That said, I don't think she will. It's close. It is close. It's not like Firefly is that far ahead of Cyrene. They are very close. But yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable with this. Kafka, Himiko, Black Swan, Natasha, Yukong, kind of rounding out that mommy kind of like quintet here, the mom quintet that we can call them. I feel pretty comfortable with that ranking. Aglaya, you can kind of throw her into the same the mommy sextet, I guess you could say. Hyacinth, this is where she should have been originally. I cannot believe I ranked her so low previously. What a travesty. Don Hung, yep, Don Hung being I think my favorite Astral Express member, not named Himiko, and Sunday, obviously. I think that's accurate. Trailblazer, doing pretty well. Robin doing pretty well. Akron doing pretty well. Then you've got the rest of the Astral Express here. Castris, I think yeah, this is where she should be. Constance and Fugue, this is I think this trio, these three right here are so close, practically a tie between Castris, Constance, and Fugue. Then you get to Topaz, Boot Hill, Blade. Yeah, I think this is accurate. Herda really climbing super high. I had Herda like down here before. Let me take a little bit of a let me clear my throat really quick. Thank you, Sage. My mic was off. I've been talking this entire time. Okay, let me recap what I said. Basically, yeah, I think if you look at my tier list, you look at this like first row, you were like, okay, like makes sense. Like you got some heavy hitters here, right? Like a lot of these characters, like okay, you might maybe have them placed differently, but these are huge star rail characters, right? Maybe I have Himiko a bit higher than most people, but still makes sense. You know, makes sense. She's Himiko. And then you get to like these two, and you're just like, what the fuck? You're just like, hello, Natasha and Yukong. Like, yeah, like I know, like it just that they're there for me. They just are. And yeah, I have them ahead of Aglaya and Hyacinth. I just love these two characters. I think they are fantastic. Easily, I think the best 4-star characters in the game from a writing perspective. And I love them dearly. So and then you start getting to like the range where the tier starts to drop off a bit. I mean, yeah, Robin, Akron, the rest of the Astral Express, that feels right. These three I feel like are practically tied with each other. Caceres, Constance, Fugue, Topaz seems correct to me here. The three men, Boot Hill, Blade, and Ratio. I think this is the ranking that I like. Herda shooting up the rankings, just fucking. She used to be like down here, and now she's like all the way up here. Heislins and Cypher, I think, are well ranked. Cypher, I think at 30 rounds up. I think she rounds out the top 30 really well. This is where I would like kind of have her. Then you kind of get to like the kind of the lower end of the Crisis eras of Tribune and Naxa. Pela, one of my favorite 4-stars in the game. Silver Wolf, Stellaron Hunter, Evernight, Crisis Air. Then you get to Clara, who's here for pretty much pure cuteness alone. Yongqing, being just a really great character who just like obviously I don't like the design that much. Luca, just a 4-star, but fantastic 4-star. Same with Serval. Sarah probably being the lowest ranked Crisis Air. Makes sense. Fei Xiao is super cool. Ron May's very interesting as a Genius Society member. So you could say the same thing about Jade with the IPC. Branya is the head of Bellabog. Huahua is really well written from her event quest, and she's really adorable. Jingren is fucking badass. He is dad, but just didn't really hit for me personally. I know he's probably higher in a lot of these lists. Jing Liu has an amazing character design. Again, just need more screen time for her. Zila, Yunli. Then you start getting into the characters that are good characters, underrated characters, but not necessarily super high profile star rail characters. And then then you get to Jiao Cho and Sparkle, and that kind of starts kind of like the lower tiers. So this is the list. I mean, I'm pretty proud of this list. Fucking, I think the biggest thing is I do not know how Hyacinth ended up being that low on my previous list. She was like 20. Get the fuck out of here. No, this is where she should be. Himiko obviously being super high, she ends up, that's kind of preparation for her eventually being around here. So, but aside from that, pretty happy with this. Seeker, looking at Jing Liu so lower hurts. I'm sorry, Seeker. She has one of the best designs in the entire game, and she's slowly making her way up these rankings. She just needs screen time. She has virtually no character to her. Her entire character is mostly just lore, right? And a lot of what makes her interesting has been shown in like trailers. That's kind of it. So, yep, Godslayer Protocol. That's what Godslayer Protocol is going to take this character right here and this character right here, and it's going to shoot them up this list. But we haven't gotten it yet. So, Sage, also, I just noticed that the Arlen meme is going strong here. Yeah, like I said earlier, these two characters, Moza and Arlen, I would say are the only two characters in this entire game I dislike. Like, I dislike them. I wish they would be gone from the game. Hook annoys me every once in a while, but I'm indifferent to her. She can be cute every once in a while. Same with, like, Gunaifen, right? But these two characters I actively dislike, I think. Moza, a lot less than Arlen. Arlen is just... I'm surprised he's even in the game. Sage, when would you say the rank ends at your loved characters? Here. 39. I think after 39, I would say like the rest of these characters, I like them, but they're not near and dear to my heart. Yeah, I think so. Serval is a good cutoff point for that. Sage, who do you really want? That's a great question, Sage, by the way. Thank you for asking that. That really is a great question. That made me think. That made me really thoughtful. I'm gonna bring that up in future streams, I think. Who do you really want from here to be explored in 4.x? Who do you think? Himiko, Himiko, Sunday, just as much as Himiko. Sunday. Blade and Silver Wolf. Hopefully they show up. And obviously Sparkle, wherever she's at. Where's Sparkle? She's right here. Sparkle. But yeah, that's Slingshot. Sparkle. The characters that we expect to see in 4.x. Oh yeah, Robin as well, because she's rumored to get an SP. So yeah, basically, if I were to rank just my favorite characters, just Himiko number 1, Sunday number 2. Actually, I would think Robin doesn't need that much screen time from me. So yeah, Himiko 1, Sunday 2. Then Silver Wolf 3, Sparkle 4, Blade 5. And then yeah, I think at that point I'd have to see like what the other SPs do. Like what else is like Aventurine is rumored to get. Oh wait, Sampo. Actually, Sampo I would have a bit higher. I would have him ahead of Blade. And then Robin, I think, after Blade. So, but yeah, obviously Sparksy. Sparksy is just gonna be Sparkle. Seeker, Firefly and finally got nominated for this year's Tap Tap Awards away. Yep, I saw. I did see that. That said, I'm not the biggest fan of like those type of polls. They're always super biased, like especially on Reddit. On Twitter, it can be biased, but it's more difficult to do that because there's a larger sample size. Reddit is very biased. And across the board, like depending on where you go in Reddit, like using Firefly as an example, and Finan is pretty universally beloved, but using Firefly as an example, Firefly on Reddit can either be the most loved character or the most hated character. Like Firefly on Reddit is either here, number 1, or like here, like in this row. Maybe not quite as bad as Arlen, but like Firefly has got some haters on Reddit. And people will post polls and rankings from various different sites on various different subreddits to kind of push certain agendas. It's a bit weird. Um, and so I've learned to not give those polls any weight. Some of them are more trustworthy than others. Like, for example, TapTap is like an official app in China. Like, you can kind of get a sense of what the China kind of player base does prefer. But even then, I would say handle those polls with caution. Like, the fact that it's restricted to China already says something. Like, every region has their favorite characters. Like, for example, the favorite character in China, probably Dan Heng, the most popular character. The favorite character in Japan is probably Firefly. The favorite character in the US, probably Finan. It varies, right? So yeah, but I did see on Reddit that Finan and Firefly got nominated for like the Tap Tap Awards. Firefly already was in, like, didn't Tap Tap did do like an overall like gotcha ranking where they had like Genshin and Zenless as well, and the ranking went like number one was can't remember her name. She's like one my favorite character from Genshin. I can't remember her name. Fucking don't tell me. I'm not even gonna look at chat. Fontaine Archon. What's her fucking name? She's my favorite character from Genshin. I can't even remember it. I'm not gonna look until I remember the character because this is shameful. This is shameful. I'm not looking at chat. I don't want to be reminded. I don't want to be reminded. I'm gonna get it eventually, and you guys are gonna sit here and watch this entire process. I can't remember her name. She's my favorite character in Genshin. I can't even remember her name. Fake fan. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna look at chat. Okay, thank you. Farina, yes. Obviously, I don't like Farina as much as I thought I did. God, I can't believe I forgot her name like that. But Farina was number one. Um, and then number two, I think, was Alicia. And number three was, I think, was Firefly, right? Or was it Hu Tao from I can remember Hu Tao's name, but I can't remember Farina's name. Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, like they did some type of award on Tap Tap, I think, where Firefly placed pretty high. So, but yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and call it here for today. We got close to 3 hours, which honestly, kind of expected. I always go super long with these. So we're gonna call it here for tonight. I gotta get some food. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today. But the ranking was super fun. It always is such a joy. Sage, thank you for being here, my friend, for pretty much the majority of the ranking, if not all of it. Was a joy to discuss with you as always. JD, at the beginning, Goldson as well. Super fun. Thank you a lot. Seeker, appreciate you showing up towards the end there, reminding me of supposedly my favorite Genshin character's name. Um, but yeah, super super fun. So last year, number one was Farina, number two Alicia, so Firefly was number three. Okay, good. I remember Hu Tao like ended up placing super high as well. I wasn't sure if Hu Tao like was 3, 4, or 5. The other one was Miyabi from Zenless Zone Zero. She placed super high as well. So, but yeah, um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, it's gonna be a while till you see me again. Not super long. It's not gonna be another like 3 week break. But I am gonna take the next like 4 to 5 days off because I will be playing the new Trails game, Trails Beyond the Horizon. And I am looking forward to it. I am. So I'm gonna focus on that. Have a great time with it. Next week I will be back at some point, probably like middle of the week, with our ranking. We're gonna do more rankings for Star Rail. It's gonna be trailer rankings. We're gonna rank all the character trailers. We're gonna rank all the Myriad Celestia trailers, and then we're gonna rank all of the animated shorts. And that's gonna be more of a tier list format. Those are gonna be 3 separate streams, by the way. That won't be all one stream. We're gonna do one stream for the character trailer, one stream for the shorts, one stream for the Myriad Celestia. So that's gonna be next week. So look forward to that. Like I said, it'll be sometime Wednesday, Thursday, probably somewhere around that line. So, but Let me catch up the chat here really quick before we end it. So Sage, is this going to be the last big stream until 4.0 stream? So Finan wins. Finan will be one or two. Finan will be or Cyrene. Either those are the number one and number two trailers in the game, bar none. So you should do rankings on the updates. Just an idea. Actually, that sounds like fun. We'll do that as well. We'll do that. That'll be a part of probably one of the streams. Probably like the animated short stream because that's going to be a bit shorter. So, Seeker, she was 5th. Thank you for reminding me. But yes, bye to everyone. Thank you so much for coming in, Sage, Seeker, JD, Golston. Much appreciated. It was a fantastic time discussing with you guys. I will see you next week. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care, guys. Peace, light.